Oh my god, it's a Ghostwriter squared. I
am streaming it. Yes, yes.
Don't sound so bloody happy about it. We've already hit your community channel, so I ain't got that to worry about.
I know. I don't need reminding.
What, that at some point you're going to be playing CSGO?
Shut up.
What you told it? Shadowkeep button Warlock, this has become the trend. It is a trend. The good trend. Warlock Master Race.
No. There is no Warlock Master Race.
I can't remember what I was looking at, but one of Panda's breakdowns or something, it was like if you don't play on the Master class. It was just for a shotgun. And it was about Titan, and I was like, Panda. Forbidden.
I don't think that's a bad roll, actually, for me Swarmers. A bit low on resilience.
That's actually a pretty good roll, to be fair. Yeah. It just would have been nice if everything else was 2 that wasn't recover or intellect. And
yeah,
then
but
you could have
that's
put
so rare.
that excess into... Yeah, obviously, but that would be the best roll, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's good, you just put your resilience mod in. Which, okay, is the dearest of the mods, but, you know.
Same cost as recovery, if I remember correctly. Aren't they both 4?
Recovery is in fact 4, you're right.
Yeah. It's only hunters that get the benefit of mobility being cheap.
Sorry, in fact, it used to be 5 once upon a time, so... It's been a long... Oh, I've gone the wrong way, I know.
I guess you have.
Done this campaign. No, a shooty chest.
It's sealed.
Yeah, hang on. You gotta find the symbols. So there's one up there, I've shot it.
I don't bloody remember this.
Alright, there's one. There's the A. Oh, just looking for the other symbol. Oh, have you even played this game?
Yes, but this was years ago. You expect me to remember things from that far in the past?
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, it's also not just beyond the realm of being able to figure it out.
I didn't see any symbols. Where are they? I'm blind.
There's that one. We need to find Divide. They need to be shot in order. Being blind as fuck. Am I blind?
Where is Divide?
Oh, it's a little cheeky bastard. Pokeball Varney. There we go. Glimmer. That's so worth it.
I think that was for me, actually, yeah. I'm a bit low on the Glimmer stock at the moment.
You can go visit Raoul, cash in your shards.
I know, I need to at some point.
I'm proud of Michelle. I made it down. There's a 16 in the front 2 numbers of my legendary shards.
Uh-huh. Nice.
How would you... What the fuck? Oh, fuck. I got a picture of me under. I think this dude's also doing the campaign.
I mean, to be fair, Robert, there's getting rid of legendary shards, but then there's also everything else I have to burn through.
It appears to be a ritual of some kind.
Like
the phantasmal fragments, the hero always pieces. My outrageous number of glacial star warts, helium filaments, and spin metal leaves. Yeah, I know, they're not getting rid of them yet.
I don't think the phantasmals and the hero always are going, are they?
No, those two probably won't go for a bit.
Them. That's what I'm saying. Like, even if they take away those shots, I'm still. Right, well,
I know. I should be prioritizing the legendary shards. I've just not yet done an exchange with Rahul in a while. Because by the time I remember, oh, I should exchange with Rahul, I'm at 250k glimmer.
But I know
at which point I can't.
Spending it, so I'm like focusing engrams or something. So, high runes. Rune.
Oh, right, yeah, we're meant to kill things.
Oh yeah, I just pressed tab. It's just confusing having the altars of sorrow.
I forgot that this is the first mission, and therefore it's literally nothing.
I thought the first mission. I might have already done, or maybe the epilogue.
Okay, technically this is okay. Yeah, you've got the prologue, and then there's the first mission.
Yes, yeah, sorry, yeah, prologue. Because the prologue's where you're just on the moon with the weapon frames, and you got to shoot some shit.
Yes, it's the one that has a cutscene as you're entering.
Yeah, it's like, Guardian, there's hive forces.
Because every expansion has to have a cutscene.
Moon's haunted, go and haunt it.
Do you just have a white R beneath the quest on the left side of your screen, or is that just me?
No, that's what Altars of Sorrow should be for you.
Yeah. I figured it was the Altars of Sorrow. Interesting bug.
Do I need to be killing them with a particular weapon, or what?
Just defeat them and get their tablets. I think it's RNG.
Alright, well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go join this Altars then, because that's the only way we're gonna get any fucking alive.
True. The Altars moved.
I know, I was picking up an arc ball.
Okay.
Love me some balls.
Oh, and actually it's fixed me bug. I can now see.
Nice.
I should actually read what the swarmers do.
Angles make threadlings.
That is actually pretty much it. Okay. I thought it might have had like a paragraph that I just hadn't read yet.
Oh.
Nope. It's 2 sentences.
Basically, it's just threadlings. Threadlings everywhere.
Indeed.
It's actually a source of depression because you won't be able to adopt all your little threadlings. You'll generate.
Oh, as in there'll be too many that you exceed the 6 limit.
So when there's no ads, you get to watch them run around in desperate search for something to kill and then disappear. You feel bad for them.
Well, welcome to the Hunter experience. That's all our threadlings.
Every hunters you deserve that kind of pain.
What? Excuse me?
Mother Warlock takes care of their children. They perch on our waist.
No, they don't. They spin around you looking for attention.
As my children should. They should fight for my approval.
Something you take care of your children.
It's a tough love. It's the one they need in this world, Damien. Oh, you did it. No more.
Ah, there's more wizards. That's another thingy.
We'll contact terrorist mode. Bring, bring. Three-eyed depressor, where are you? Bring, bring. Trying to ring her. She's not picking up.
guardian down.
Oh.
Which quest step am I on, actually? Let's see.
We got to
Where I'm dying.
Ares.
No. Turns out, when I said I'm ahead of you, I'm quite a bit ahead of you.
Oh, shit, yeah. Looks like at the fucking end.
I remembered this being longer. Maybe I'm wrong, I guess.
I don't know, maybe. Where are you at?
Step 14. It's the bit where you have to get the Dreambane armor pieces. It's cringe. I'm glad they stopped doing that.
Fair, actually, though, at the time when this came out, the Dreambane armor was actually a pretty good set.
It looks shit. It's genuinely the most ugly thing I've seen.
I don't know about Hunter. It's quite alright on Warlock. Like,
on Hunter, it looks ugly.
Kind of like the whole space vibes. But I like the space aesthetic, so maybe I'm biased. Yeah, you're gonna get that, and then some of the weapons as well were pretty good, even though they got Sunset then reissued. And now they're just a bit sad because they don't have an origin perk.
Because they were reissued before origin perks were a thing, which I think is the worst time to get reissued. All things considered.
Yes, I think maybe, or there were some origin perks because they were reissued after Witch Queen. I think maybe. Don't hold me to that.
Anything reissued after Witch Queen should have an origin perk. It's kind of the point.
I don't think they were origined up. If you're right, maybe it was before Witch Queen.
I think it must have been before Witch Queen.
The longer you play this game, the more the years blend together.
Yeah, I'm aware. It occurs to me every time I think about how long ago Season of the Chosen was.
Yeah, so how do you think I feel?
Or the fact that it's been 11 seasons since Arrivals.
I remember doing faction quests for New Monarchy.
You know, you managed to find the bit where I can't. Relate.
I remember everyone picking dead orbits so you could get Graviton lands.
I was just a little too late for that bit. Because I was the end.
We used to get from 300 to 305 power.
I joined at the end of year one, Robert. So I saw year one, but I didn't experience the bulk. Namely, from what I've gathered, the only thing I did miss is the faction stuff. And content drought.
And Crimson Days.
Yeah, and Crimson Days. Don't remind me.
The only one that was ever running Destiny.
I keep losing track of you. Where you are still here. Okay.
Yeah, I'm fucked off.
I didn't know if you had gone to go contact Eris.
No. I keep trying to ring her, she keeps ignoring me.
Do I have any Dreambane stuff, or do I actually have no progress towards that? Because that's the thing where you have to get the quests from the thingy, isn't it? And it's cringe, and I don't like it.
Yeah. But sorry, yeah, that's what I was talking about before, is that when this armor stuff and this whole thing came out, it was actually quite good because it actually gave you decent raw armor. And it was like the closest things you had to weapon focusing.
Did it? I don't remember the armor being that good even when it came out.
Yeah.
Because I played Shadowkeep when it launched.
So the armor, well, the armor itself is just armor, but the stuff you can get from the table,
yeah, okay. Okay. I know that you could keep rolling it because you could just redo the quests.
Yeah, and the dungeon as well gave you high stat armor at the end, that tended to be pretty good.
And it turns out I have Dreambane boots. That's it.
Got the boots with the fur.
What? No! No! You're not starting that. It's bad enough every time I watch a Datto and Jez video. Jesus Christ. Yeah, have you not noticed?
No. Maybe because, hey look, way back when I started watching Jez because his humour was right up my fucking butt crack, so yes. So maybe I just don't notice it.
It's normally Datto who makes that joke, actually.
Okay. Then. Think about it though, have you ever seen me or Datto in the same room at the same time? Don't think so.
No, but you're less elitist at times. I was going to end it at less elitist, and then I remember some of your PvP views, and I had to clarify at times.
I don't think it's that bad with PvP, to be fair. I think trials should be accessible for all. I don't think it should be, you know, only for the sweatier sweats. I literally had a rant about that. What's that I said? I nicked the John Hammond quote and I said something like, this shader shouldn't just be for the super sweats.
I don't know if you said that while I was here. I don't seem to recognise.
I was talking to you.
Were you? When was this?
I think it was fucking yesterday. I can't remember what it was.
I wasn't on yesterday.
Well, whenever we were last talking. Look,
again,
look,
internet
my
issue.
Fucked. Yeah, my sleep's fucked. So yesterday to me, the previous sleep. Previous. Whatever I was.
I don't like Preet. Half Deep is good. I don't like that one. We need a better one.
Yeah.
Biff Deep.
What?
Like before sleep, so Biff Deep?
Biff Deep. Yeah, I think Biff Deep. Sure.
Yeah. It's not technically the logical conclusion for before sleep, but I think if we go with the language idea of where you're having similar structures.
Beefed.
Well, no, because it'd be like Feep. No, well, there's a burr, but then a fur, so it's like it'd be a Feep, but then you'd like simplify it to Feep over time, I guess.
Yeah,
because
last
language. Not to be confused with feet.
Oh, that's funny. I remember what it was. We were going through the article, the TWID. So it was Thursday.
Yeah. Okay. To be fair, I was somewhat distracted at the time reading the TWID.
Yeah, but I was ranting about the rank changes. Like, some of them were good, but some of them were not good, so...
Yes. I actually saw someone else try to do an analysis of the TWID in a, quoting them, amateur edition. Somehow they thought the changes would help their skill level, and I don't actually understand what gave them that impression.
It might. The problem is it goes up in some places and down in another, and
yeah,
they don't touch, like, so for example, like, I think something you said is like, oh yeah, but they're not actually touching the skill server versus game server, and I was like, no, but if you think about they're doing this and they're grouping people this way, the end result will be they will be more closely mirrored. Like,
yeah.
What it was,
no, there was that one change. And I guess maybe the wins and losses, I mean, it would be helpful if you just really get lucky with your team composition. But I don't feel like that really helps the, how is it Bungie phrased it? Because Bungie had a way of phrasing it that I wasn't entirely sure on. Lower skilled players, I think is their phrase. Yeah, that is their phrasing.
Because one of the changes meant that I think might help after a reset is that you should just blitz through the ranks.
It's the nightmares.
Instead of you should. So if you're at bronze, you'll get matched against bronzes, which, you know, sounds obvious when you say it aloud and sounds absolutely dumb, but it's not done that way. But
what do you mean?
It was matching you was based on your skill.
Yes.
So, like, if you were bronze, you got matched against plats. If it thought you were plat.
No, that's not how it did. That's how they've adjusted it to make more sense to work. The way it did work is it based it entirely on your rank. So if you were ascendant skill, but you happened to have the rank of silver, you were matched against silvers.
No.
Yes.
On that tweet, they say that that's what they're making it do now.
No. Hang
Let me
on.
open the article.
Right, rank chasing. We'll now blend rank and skill priority on rank. So, and the example they gave, if you're adept skill but silver rank, you will now be matched with gold or platinum, not silvers. Which means it previously worked, if you were adept skill but silver rank, you were matched with silvers.
Is that what they say?
Yes.
That second part, did they say that second part?
Yes.
Uh,
It only really used to consider rank.
Do you know what section that's under? Because like the matchmaking and skill is splattered throughout this thing.
It was the bit just before lobby balancing change to snake draft.
Yeah, the snake draft should be better. Just before that. Well, then it goes on to checkmate, spiral control, 3v3 rank.
Okay. If you just search adept,
it's under
3v3 ranked. Yes.
Okay, yeah, but the first example they give is what I was saying, though. So, okay, I see what you mean, that the second example means that it's still weighted higher, but in the first one, an adept player's at plat will be matched against plats.
That's how it will work now. That's not how it used to work.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. You were saying that it used to work that if you was... okay. So I said if you was a plat, but you just reset and you was at silver, then you'd be matched against silver. You said that's not how it works, which is true in the second... in the third bullet point under 3v3 ranked. But in the second bullet point, that's also how it works now. If you're adept, but you're at plat, you will be matched against plats. That's what as an example, an adept skilled player who is at platinum rank will be playing with other platinum rank players.
Yes, that's how it works now, and that's how it will continue to work. The change is purely the silver one.
Yes. But I mean, it's still a lot better. You'll still fucking...
Yeah, no, I'm saying that's an objectively better one, because it means that silvers will be less likely to be playing against someone who is adept, or should be adept, rather.
It doesn't say what it previously did, though, so I'm not entirely sure what it did do previously.
Because
I'm not entirely sure when it first came out, it did what you're describing previously.
Matchmaking has always was always based on rank.
Where? How do you know that?
Well, one, the fact that they have a separate skill server versus the game server, and the skill server is slower than the game server to update, which means that they're not going to call out to the skill server whenever they're trying to do a matchmaking process. Wait, you can just kind of infer that. Separately, the fact that they're making this change...
No, because the change, so if you actually think about the change...
If matchmaking worked where it was purely considering skill, there wouldn't be a problem to fix.
I disagree. Because if it matched you based on skill, so say you had just come to the game this season, say it's mid-season, everyone's already at their ranks, but you've just started... So you're at rank reset, so you're at fucking silver, whatever, right? It's going to stick you against... In this example, it's going to stick you against where you were, so platinum, right? But then the cost for losing that game is going to be quite high because you lost a platinum match. And because there's not a lot of points between ranks, at those lower ranks, you suffer a lot. And that would be a problem. Which is how it felt like it was performing when I played comp. don't know how it worked. I'm not entirely convinced Bungie knew how it fucking worked, to be honest. Because the snake draft seems to be a fucking revelation for them.
The way I read it, at least, I just can't read through the entire tweet again because that'll take forever. The way I read it at the time, it felt obvious, like clear to me that it was specifically avoiding having adept skill playing against silvers. I guess yes, it would also help in the other way around as well.
Well, the thing is, you can read it either way. It says, so the first bullet point, it says prioritizes rank for matchmaking, but if rank and skill are widely different, Princess 2. Now, saying prioritizes rank for matchmaking, are they changing it from something, or are they reaffirming what it always did? I mean, just a statement prior to it. Right.
Yeah, I see your point. I see your point.
I don't know how it worked. I can't tell you. You might be right. I don't know.
I also don't know.
Gas. Last time I played, because what would happen? So while I remember when we were doing our placements, Josh got placed before me because he played before me. So I would get fat bonuses for wins and nothing for a loss. Right? I wouldn't lose anything, barely. Like, you're talking single digits. Josh on a loss, however, would lose fucking loads. He would lose 300, even if it was a close game.
That's inflation and deflation protection.
No, so this is on the loss of a game. So this is just nowhere near any rank borders. This is just in a rank. Just on a loss, he would lose loads of points, and on a win, he would gain nothing. Whereas mine was the exact opposite experience, but I hadn't been placed yet. The moment I got placed, and I got placed at a higher rank than Josh was, the experience was on the other foot then. I would then gain nothing for a win, lose loads of points, whereas Josh had the other way around. He would get fat for a win and barely lose out.
So that
after he surpassed me.
That experience is supposed to be described by the inflation and deflation protection. The idea is the one where it's losing a ton of points on a loss but getting nothing for a win. That was the case where your rank was higher than what the skill server said your skill was. So therefore it was attempting to pull you down to your skill. You could still climb up, but you had to just keep winning and not lose ever. That's the thing that they're getting rid of. So now it will still work in the way you described how it was working for you. So on a loss, if your rank is a lot below your skill, on a loss, you will still barely lose points, and you'll just get a ton of points if you win. But it won't work the other way around anymore. It won't stop you from climbing up, but it will keep you from falling down if you're below your skill. Is the idea.
What I don't like is the... what was it they said? God, I forgot what I was going to say. So you get back to your rank quick, that's fine. Oh, that was
in hindsight, you might be correct on the skill being used on
individual performance.
Yeah, no, I know. That's a terrible change, and I don't know what they're thinking.
Well, it kind of makes sense if you're a pre-queue team. If you're in the team one, then
which is rare, right?
But if you're a solo queue, bro, if you pair me with two fucking soggy biscuits, what do you want? You can go through my Destiny tracker. I will be top frag of the vast majority of games I play, win or lose. But yet, if I ever decide to just sit back or use some off-rip loadout or do a bounty, suddenly we lose 100% of the time.
Actually, now that I think about it, that change doesn't make sense to me with the... So they specifically called out...
Changing loadouts or trying something new, yes.
Yeah, so they reduced their confidence in their skill system so that it will be a little more malleable rather than like just being stuck as it knows how good you are and it will not change. And the justification for that was sometimes players have off days, sometimes they want to play off meta, sometimes they want to play an alternative class that isn't their go-to. The idea for the tuning of their confidence rating is to encourage that and allow you to just play when you want and not be so stressed about it. But that doesn't fit with the whole only wins meta. Because that means if you're playing off,
you're gonna lose.
Then you're going to lose and you're going to drag other people down with you, and that sucks. Because their individual performance isn't considered. Even though it might just be you who's having an off day. Like, it's so dumb. I feel like it literally summarizes as the thing you said, I think it was on Thursday, about the whole, like, they'll make one change that benefits one group, and then they'll make another change in the same patch that harms the same group.
Yeah. And it's like two different people have just come up with these changes from different perspectives and haven't bothered to talk to each other and think, what do we think the net result of this will be?
Yeah. Which is weird, considering this is an update from the Crucible Strike team. So it's supposed to be a team that's literally just talking to each other.
There might be... they might have crafted this from an overall response they want, and maybe it will affect in some deterministic way that we don't. That's the thing, because we haven't got a non-moving frame of reference, we can't say what's doing what, is the problem. Like, they're changing both skill and how close skill and game servers are to each other. They're changing, the confidence factor as well. So literally none of it is set in stone. So it's hard to say which one is doing what we want.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it'll be better.
Now, a fun fact from the player support report that I didn't actually look at. High volumes of multi-kills can result in bird errors.
Yes. I'm also definitely getting crashes to desktops a lot more.
I haven't had any.
I've had about 3 in as many days.
Have you tried verifying your game files just in case?
Yes.
Okay.
One was I just loaded into a light formation, literally at the start when there's nothing there, and then boom, it just froze. I had that one where it was a closed to desktop. I can't remember what it was, a public hunt. Oh yeah, that was when I cast my Chaos Reach. I don't think that was my fault. I think it might have been the instance, but fuck knows. I can't remember what the other one was. I think it was an Alt F4 job.
I think the one you were just describing then was an instance, because that was the one where I was trying to join you, and
yeah.
It
ended up joining a different public event.
Yeah,
like it was the same one.
Had a connecting to Destiny
place,
servers and then switched to a different instance outright. Which seems a lot like... At least their fail-safes are working. They recovered from it.
Except for me.
They recovered from the error, it just
I'm looking at my desktop
didn't save any progress. And yeah, okay, didn't help you either. Okay, their failsafe worked for me. That's progress.
Oh yeah, it worked.
That's an improvement from the start of the season. Or was it this season? Which season was it that they were absolutely broken to all hell? Was it last season?
I don't remember. I feel like it happens once a year where there's a season where shit's just fucked.
Well, this year it was like every season, wasn't it? Yeah. I remember this year was particularly rough.
I think the Lightfall season was the worst.
Defiance, yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yes. I'd have some beaver, please.
You got beaver, I think. I got a shit ton of anteater.
Yeah, anteater was very common.
Occasional weasel.
Oh, classic weasel. Just weasel just takes me back to Forsaken. Every time you try to do like any matchmaking at all, it'd be like, would you like this weasel or a beaver? Pick one.
I know there was a week where bees were particularly prevalent.
Bees. Oh, that was only 34%. A heroic public event is 34%. I think you're actually not that far ahead of me. I don't know. I'm doing a Dreambane armor piece now as part of the quest, and it is in fact boots. Oh no, it's cloak. But I have to do this.
Hang on. Let's see what the steps were before I got to this point. Which step are you up to, then?
No, 1 sec. I'm killing a man. Man dead. Oh, I tabbed out instead of 3 of 19.
Okay, so that's complete Essence of Despair.
Yes.
Then you visit Eris Morn. Then you defeat Omnigul. Again.
Done it before, can do it again.
How did I do that? Hang on, how did I do that? That requires a full set of Dreambane armor. I don't have a full set of Dreambane armor.
I don't think you do. I think it's just because the Dreambane armor.
Oh no, it's right. To pass beyond the Polaris warding and discover what it's wearing, you'll need to wear a full set of Dreambane armor. Take the first step and hunt the Nightmare of Can I speak? And hunt the Nightmare of Omnigul. There we go. Jesus.
Sorry. I said priorities once and then looked at the word. Like, instead of just glancing and letting my brain autopilot my way through it, I looked at the word it written and was like, Piotr. Like, I was just malfunction.
Okay, yes. I think that's the one where I get the boots. So I think, yes, you're getting the boots and that takes a few steps. You'll get like that 5 or something. And then Shadowkeep. Okay, yeah. I'm quite a bit ahead of you. I'm a good few missions. It's just, yeah. Not as far ahead as 14 of 19 suggests, because there's a lot of talk to Eris Morn. Again, they did a good job changing how the campaign works with Witch Queen.
Yeah, I think I'm
like having actual missions.
My problem. So, Forsaken is a sick expansion, but campaign, nah. Those first mission was good, you know, and the cutscenes. It had plenty of cutscenes, which was good. But fuck me, was it a lot of just go kill this boss in a lost sector? Like, literally 14 mission steps was kill the Barons, and they were all fucking lost sector cunts.
Yes. Yeah. I think that was the bit that burnt me out with Forsaken when I first tried doing it, and why I didn't finish it on launch. I don't know when I did finish it.
Effort.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, the fact that they're not actual, like... The campaign was never done as, like, actual, like, here's a mission, and it's very clear, this is a mission, and you're committing a bunch of time, and then this is the in-between stuff. It was just, everything's in-between stuff, and then there's the occasional bit where you loaded into a thing. Like,
and you're
okay.
like, oh, fuck, I'm in for a long one, then. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it was a
much prefer
good...
Witch Queen, where it's like,
the story
here's
was good,
9 missions, I think. And a bunch of intermediate stuff that isn't actually, like, and you can tell what's what. It's very clear.
I think Witch Queen is the gold
checkpointed.
Standard.
Yes.
And even they know that. I think that's what they said, didn't they? Is that they want to try and get back
in
to that Witch Queen.
Our path forward, yes. They called out Forsaken, the Witch Queen, and the Taken King. These are the standard bearers we aim to live up to. Something tells me they're leaning more on the Witch Queen. I would hope they're leaning more on the Witch Queen.
I would hope
Forsaken's interesting to include. Because I remember... So obviously Forsaken was a really good expansion, but I also remember Bungie had a talk they did at a GDC thing that people read way too much into, in which they talked about the issues of over-delivery. Namely the fact that Forsaken just had too much in it. Because it was a hell of an endeavor for them to make. And then on top of that,
yes,
you're setting the precedent that every expansion after this will have that much stuff in it. And people will be disappointed if it doesn't. And I remember the Destiny community overread that. They were like, the community viewed this as a bad thing, and like Bungie's just like withholding content for no reason. Like, it's a perfectly valid point to make.
Yeah, but I mean,
and I think it's perfectly summarized. Smart. I feel like it's perfectly summarized that Bungie's right when you look at Nightfall. They released the Witch Queen. People really loved it. And then they released Nightfall, and then people compare it to the Witch Queen. And then people get upset.
Well, I mean, you are going to have to compare expansions to measure them in terms of ranking them and stuff.
Yes, and Bungie's point was that they should all be the same. They shouldn't be more than another.
2, do I stick Forsaken above Lightfall? Or I can't, because the thing is Forsaken came with a lot of cool stuff we hadn't had before. A lot of cool stuff. I mean, it came with bows. Bows were new. They finally fixed the fucking
bows
weapons.
New in Forsaken?
Yes.
Jesus
bows were a big
Christ.
part of Forsaken. Yeah, they were very cool.
I forget how much was different in year 1.
But we didn't have bows, and weapons were different because you didn't have special.
Oh yeah, we didn't have special in year 1!
So yeah, new subclasses. New subclass.
Yeah, I remember the new supers.
So Specky Blades, Blade Barrage, and Chaos Reach. What else did we get? 2 destinations, and so I didn't like it at the time, mainly because A, it was rock hard, B, there was a lot of back and forth with the campaign. The campaign made you do a lot of go fetching at points, which was fucking annoying, and a lot of it was like, rebuild this talisman. It's like, okay, and it's like, just do public events, and it's like, fam, I'm gonna be here forever. But the Dreaming City is actually a really cool destination. Cool raid in general. Came with the first ever dungeon, and came with armor. It came with the curse stuff. It came with the wells, the blind wells, which were pretty cool when it came out. Even if we all just cheesed it with Telesto. So Telesto really cemented itself in myth. And came with a lot of like exotics and stuff, so overall pretty good. But I think it's only so fondly remembered because what came before was so poor. Like Warmind and particularly Osiris expansion were fucking risible. I quite like the whole Warmind aesthetics and all like Kelos stuff, but compare it to like what we got with the Seraph stuff, Season of Seraph. I mean, Season of Seraph was more than what Warmind was.
The DLC were basically a season.
Yeah. So I think I might put Lightfall above Forsaken, much to pitchforks in the streets and torches and threats to burn my house down. But I think Lightfall goes above Forsaken for me.
I don't know.
Maybe not so much story-wise.
I don't think I can really have an opinion on it without playing Forsaken again, which I can't do because it's been long enough that I just don't remember enough.
No, I remember playing it again. I remember was because
I think definitely mechanically speaking, I don't think Forsaken's a great expansion. Mechanically, I agree on that.
Yeah. But having the Reef was a really cool destination, and the Tangle Shore was cool. All the stuff with the spider. You had the hunts, bounties, which were alright at first, but then very quickly became something you didn't do ever again. And then I can't remember if Whisper of the Worm came with Forsaken as well. If it does, then that would be the first exotic mission of its kind.
But that would be base game, right?
It should be Forsaken if it came with Forsaken. Let's have a look. Power, Worm... Oh, Warmind. No, it came with Warmind.
Yeah.
And when did...
which makes sense. That makes more sense.
Outbreak has... Season of the Drifter, I think, is what that is. Or the Reckoning Season. Yeah, it's the Reckoning Season, I think. But... it also introduced Gambit as well. Which, okay, people might murmur about, but I think, Gambit was... I like Gambit. sometimes.
Yeah, Gambit's not too bad.
I sense your thoughts, Warlock.
It can be okay.
Yeah, and then yeah. So
Ikora listens.
I don't know. I think I put Lightfall above it. Story-wise, objectively, the story. You know, I think Forsaken has a better story.
Yes,
And
because it's telling a
better
story.
cutscenes. Yes. I mean, Lightfalls is we find the Amuna, we stop the Witness Link in the Veil, the Witness Links the Veil. There we go. That's it. I mean, in terms of story
We find the
content,
Amuna, we discover Strand, and then we try to stop the Witness linking the Veil. We kill Callus, and then the Witness links the Veil because none of us noticed our ghost speaking weirdly.
Yeah. but like I think you said really well, like the story content, when you actually think about it, could have been put in the season. The only reason it wasn't is obviously you get a big expansion, you've got a new subclass, you know.
Yeah, you can't release a subclass in a season. So it kind of has to be an expansion.
You probably could, to be honest, but only one element. You can only release just a subclass in a season, for example. I think.
I feel like I don't feel like you could. Is the thing like
it wouldn't
because it's
right.
then.
It'd be weird.
Yeah, it'd be so difficult to square away. Like, how do you then? Because then, okay, a season lasts for the year that it's released in. What do you do after that year?
Oh, yeah, true. Well, I guess you just give it Ikora or somebody. I don't know, but yeah.
It'd kind of suck. I feel like it has to be an expansion if you're releasing a subclass. I think they just need to prioritize it less and give it at most 3 missions, and then have it unlocked. Don't tie it to the end of the thing. We said this with Beyond Light, goddammit.
Yeah. I think when people say like, oh, Forsaken's better than Lightfall, I don't know exactly what aspect they're referring to. I think story-wise, absolutely. I think in terms of just content, though, I don't think so. Even though Forsaken came with a lot, we got all of them with Lightfall anyway, and they are better? I mean, like... Yeah, I mean, it's a very cool destination with plenty to do in it, with lots of activities. So, you know, you got Terminal Overload, Vex Strike Force. For starters, you've got the partitions.
Yeah.
There's the fucking other little lore hunting thing you can go and do. There's, you know, I just think in general, yeah, I think Lightfall is better. Wider set of weapons came with it as well. And I did really like the raid, even if it is short. But, you know, I like a short
One was
raid.
good.
Not every raid needs to be fucking a 10-hour fucking slogfest. Not every raid needs to be Crota, okay? Not every raid needs to be Datto putting his thumbs into his eyes. Even though that is funny to watch.
Yeah.
So it's... I mean, I think we can all agree, I think probably ignoring the year 1 expansions, Beyond Light probably is the worst across the board. Had some pretty cool story, granted, but not in the main campaign, I don't think. I still don't think
the main campaign was so weird, especially at the time,
it's one of those,
because
you
it's
could
like
take it out. You could remove it from your memory, and Destiny's story still works.
Yes. In theory, that was supposed to change when Aramis came back with the whole Season of Plunder stuff and then Season of Seraph. Yeah. But then, at the same time, she's still not important.
Yeah, she's just a vessel at that point.
She doesn't matter, so it's so weird to have an entire expansion dedicated to her. But if anything, it's dedicated towards Stasis.
To introduce Stasis, yeah, is what it was,
yes.
Really. I mean, the Elsie and Anna stuff was really cool. All the Bray legacy and exploring Europa was cool when they eventually put that second fast travel point in. DSC, I think, is pretty cool, and, you know, I will always give brownie points for getting to bully old man in a wheelchair again. That is Tanix. You know, it's...
Yes. I don't think I'm a huge fan of the raid, just because of how mechanically flipping...
I kind of like it though,
because
because
it can be,
it's
but
not hard either.
No.
Like, the hardest thing is Taniks, and that's only because we haven't really done it enough times to really nail down that final bit, to be fair. Like,
Yeah.
Weapons are really cool for the raid. The Empire hunts, they're okay. I quite liked them to an extent. The problem is the Empire hunts and a lot of the bosses in Beyond Light were Pinnacle Bungie boss design of soft lock.
Yes.
It's just, bitch, I've worked hard for this gear. Let me spank this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Which is nice that they don't actually do that so much with the recent expansions.
No. Well, even if they do, like... So, like, when I was doing Callus, what was actually kind of nice is where I expected a soft lock. There wasn't a soft lock, I could still damage him, just a Tormentor spawned instead.
Yeah.
And then on the second phase, where there's 3 distinct notches in his health bar, you're like, okay, motherfucker's gonna soft lock. Nope. There's more Tormentors. I was like, That's kind of cool, because I can choose to stick to the fight if I want, knowing full well 3 Tormentors are about to widen my arsehole. So it's nice. It means if you rerun it on an easier difficulty, you can just speedrun that bit.
I will note, however, the absolute audacity of Bungie to introduce a Dark Souls style Jesus Christ as a phase 2.
Yes. I actually really like the Callus boss fight, even if people don't like the idea of Callus being the boss. I really liked it.
It's a good fight.
It's a lot better than I think a lot of the expansion bosses we've had. Like I said, Witch Queen was the first of many, things.
It just saddens me that we'll no longer hear any more Darren DePaul as Callus.
Well, that's the thing. Callus is just such a cool aesthetic. His scenes in the expansion as well are really good. I like it.
Yes.
I like when you see he's like shouting at the witness, going, "I did this. Why? Because I wanted to," and he's getting all Cabal and all Callus we know, and then the witness fucking cracks reality around him, and there's black ooze coming down his face, and you've got this I don't know how they managed to make a Cabal look scared, but they did. And I thought that was really good.
Yes. Oh shit! You can commend.
I can't believe.
Oh, it's a Nightmare Hunt, of course.
Yeah, I think Beyond Light is probably the worst post year 1. Because also as well, the way you unlocked stasis was just ass. Running back and forth from Reese Respawn.
They have, of course, improved that now.
Yeah, at the end of the fucking campaign.
No, I mean, so even without the node, they've, at least the aspects and fragments they've changed. They're now like Agora, rather than the stupid Umbral flipping quests. That was such a stupid idea.
Run, because that's what I think of when I think of Forsaken and all of year 1 stuff. Is a lot of the story is going into the Lost Sector you've done 1,000 times, but this time it's not a Lost Sector. There's a different boss in there or something, and it's this isn't different content. I can see why you might think it is by changing the ads in there or making something cool happen in here, but in general, this isn't.
It's a rehash of the same content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't mind rehashing content if you do put quite a spin on it. So for example, is it Solstice where it's basically Forge ignitions? I don't mind so much because at the moment in the game there are 0 Forge ignitions. So Solstice is okay. Though, pretty please, if you really want to win everyone on side Bungie, just bring back the Black Armory stuff somehow. I don't care how. Just give me Black Armory. Oh, can you imagine the origin traits you could stick on that fucker?
Allies in the fight against the darkness. If we let them be.
But yeah, some of the Black Armory weapons are so sick. I think as well, people bundle the seasons that came after Forsaken with the Forsaken expansion, partially because the season model didn't properly exist. So I think the Black Armory annual pass and the Joker's Wild were both the year of Forsaken, if that makes sense. So the Gambit Prime enhancements, the Reckoning, all the gear that came with that, the Forge Ignitions, the Black Armory stuff, the Scourge of the Past raid, all is sort of grouped up with Forsaken, I think. A little unfairly if we're going to separate seasons when talking about which Queen or Lightfall. But at the same time, I will admit they do sort of sit in the same
I should
space
note,
in my head.
in terms of Bungie's official retcon, it's not Joker's Wild, it's Season of the Drifter.
Oh, okay. Well, there's no Joker's Wild at the fucking time.
I know.
But I mean, that was a really cool season as well, the content you had. I mean, you got Thorn, you got Outbreak Perfected, which was, an exotic mission. One of my favourite. I mean, running from that robot first time. And just getting to do that kind of parkour around the old tower as well was really cool. What else did you have? Yeah, so Thorn, Last Word, a few new other exotics. There's another fucking hand cannon as well. Thorn, Last World.
Malfeasance?
Yep, Malfeasance, thank you. Yeah, and all the sort of Drifter story you got as well, because I think that's... we got a lot of the story stuff with Drifter and Erin. Erin being a Titan who became the fucking emissary of the Nine.
Orin, you mean?
Orin, yeah, that's the one. Fucking mate, you should be fucking happy I got as close as Erin.
Yeah, but like, the emissary is the Nine stuff. I have read those lore books multiple times. I love the idea of the Nine. I need more lore on them. Bungie.
Yeah.
You've got clear more content to do. Stop firing your staff.
Fucking Sunset Peak Parsons. That's the other thing that will always, no matter how... I mean, Beyond Light could have been a sick campaign. The fact that it came with 70% of the game getting yeeted into the Shadow Realm really...
It sours the taste, yeah.
It does, because, okay, sure, did I play all of that 70%? Fuck no. I mean...
But like, the solution to that shouldn't be deleting it, it's give us reason to play it.
Yeah. I mean, IO was a miserable place to do stuff, because there was really not a lot of content to do there. But
yeah, and I mean, I hate belaboring the point, but like, Destiny is an MMO, and it's not a traditional MMO by any means, but if we look at other MMOs, they have the same principal problem of, oh, we've got all this content that people don't play. But the difference is, if we look at ESO, or Final Fantasy XIV, they just give you a reason to go back and play it.
Well, they kind of do that implicitly. They've just sort of taken the long way around to reaching that conclusion. So
yes, now Bungie's finally worked it out.
Stuff for
the exotic missions being on just the most random locations. That's a good way.
Yeah, but then, the boss for that is literally the Pyramidion boss, and you literally the final room is the Pyramidion layout. Like it's
yeah, I know.
Literally the fucking
But that's more reusing the content that they've sunset there.
Yeah, and it has Asher in as well, so it kind of makes sense, to be fair. It's all pretty cool, and I quite like that. That's a cool way of doing that.
But also, they have like worked out the thing of just give us a reason to go back and do stuff, because of the whole, like, especially seasonal challenges, because they'll be like, oh, do this stuff on Warlock moment. On Savathun's Throne World, or do a bunch of stuff on Europa. It's like, okay. Well, I'll go back and do that then.
Yeah, sticking seasons.
And I'm sure that that kind of stuff has increased their numbers for how much people go back and do the older content.
Yeah.
Just a shame they deleted half of it before they worked that out.
Getting rid of things like raids as well. I mean, Spanky was a beloved raid. Scourge was without a doubt one of my favourites stuff. And again, that Black Armory stuff, fucking loved it. But I love Scourge. Yeah. Okay, I will be honest, I do not miss Spire Stars. By any stretch of the imagination. I'm not saying I'm being fair here, you can keep Spire Stars. Yeah, I don't want it back.
Yeah. Or at least, if they do go with what they claimed was their original plan, which is rework it and bring it back, then at least actually rework that one. Don't bring it back as it was.
Change the boss. The boss was ass. That final encounter with that boss.
What do you mean? He's clearly the easiest boss in the game.
All 5 of us was being stood behind him with our fucking shotgun. What's it called?
Legend of Acreus?
Yeah, all ready to select the boss, and watching the ball that Chris needed to throw at the boss land by us and roll off the back of the thing, and then we wipe, and it's like, you son of a bitch.
Yep.
God damn it. But like, just trying to shoot those ships with the balls was a bit hard as well at times. It was just an awkward encounter, I think. Probably a lot easier now with things like stasis, to be fair, because your ad CC goes through the roof. I think that's what a lot of earlier Destiny was missing as well. As much as I hate stasis in most forms, in PvE it's actually really good at fulfilling a crowd control role. You can use it offensively, sure. There are exotics to do that, but I much rather on Warlock just turrets everywhere. I haven't found what the limit is for them yet, but doing the Spire stuff or the Altars of Summoning with another fellow Stasis Warlock, and with the middle was just fucking full. And I mean, just rammed full of turrets. Nothing could fucking move. It was beautiful. Brought a tear to my eye. But yeah, losing 70% again. I think the pinnacle obviously was Proving Grounds, which is really good, you know, and a really good season of the Chosen, and the seasonal content from then on was absolutely fucking top draw. But Esso doing his solo GN stuff with a blue scout rifle, because it was the only solar scout rifle, was just funny.
Yes.
It was just really summarised Luke Smith's master plan.
It's just... I love how it's just the most you could possibly say to Bungie without having to say a word.
Oh yeah, you don't need to say a word. Yeah, it's just like, here's Esso soloing a GM, by the way, he's using a Bleak Scout Lamau. It's just, you didn't need to say anything, you just showed them.
She certainly went through considerable effort to settle a grudge.
But vengeance.
And then obviously the reissuing came, you know, because what was really annoying is doing things like Last Wish, and the weapons it gave you were Sunset.
And like, then reissued the season after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just...
Which I think was the nail in the coffin for sunsetting, because Jesus Christ, the backlash to that was justified.
Yeah, I mean...
It's rare I agree with the Destiny community being absolutely outraged. Yeah. But that one, I think, yeah, I agree.
As well as it never made a lot of sense to me, even from like a storage space perspective, which I think was an argument. I was like doing the maths. I was like,
the storage space was purely for DCV. For sunsetting, that was never the argument because it wouldn't actually solve that.
Well, even then, the whole storage space argument, I think, just still never really held up to me. Because
yes, the storage space argument also doesn't work for the DCV because...
And I was like, I'm an ad person with 3 accounts, so let's just do per account, we'll multiply it by 3. And I was like, okay, here's all the things you have to track. And I was like, okay, let's all do them as 32-bit integers or something.
But you're still thinking sunsetting, which wasn't storage space. Because
no, but
the way
DCV okay. But,
DCV wouldn't be a per account thing. DCV is purely like that one would make sense insofar as you're deleting
like, the size of the game on disc. Sure, but the problem is that
content from the game.
The reason it didn't work though is a lot of that stuff is either back in some form or it's bigger than it's ever been. There's more than it's ever been, or better yet, a lot of it wasn't actually removed from the game's files.
Yes, I do not believe that file size was actually a concern for the DCV. The fact they used that is absolutely ludicrous to me. What they then also gave as the justification, and what I think is the actual justification, is the whole thing about their tooling had changed and they had retooled the stuff that was staying, but they didn't have time to retool everything. So some of it had to go. Which is weird because also you make your own tooling, so like, you should have a porting tool. But sure,
yeah,
fine,
I think
whatever.
They also did engine changes though around that time as well.
They did.
Then it started to make a bit of sense. I think the other argument is they didn't want to say because for fear of just outright retribution, but the more you have in a game, the more you have to maintain, obviously.
Well, they did actually also specifically say that as well. It was one of their arguments was, given how little people are doing this content, it's a lot of effort for us to maintain with no one playing it. Which is a weird thing though, because at the same time, in theory, assuming you don't make major engine upgrades, you don't really have to maintain it.
Well,
who cares if we're one-shotting a raid boss?
Like, the raids people are doing, B, you know what? I think most people are quite happy for old content to go unpatched beyond a certain point.
Yeah, like that's my point. It's you just don't need to maintain it. Just don't.
How many times has it almost become almost like a hacker war of escalation with Bungie, where it's like, you can cheese Riven, patch, cheese, patch, cheese, patch, and it's like, you know, just fucking leave it in.
It's like just let it go, because it's been years. Like, if it's not the newest thing, why would you really care if it's not actually breaking the game? As long as the content's playable, it's fine. I mean, if they really cared about maintaining stuff, Garden of Salvation would have been fixed by now.
Well, I mean, they did make improvements, but the visual bug for what colour the tether's supposed to be is still in there. I don't think we encountered the island having no ads bug, which when I rewatched the Just Wipe video I saw, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I also forgot about that. But I think, on the topic of the actual sunsetting, this is what this originated from, and then got transitioned into DCV. The point of sunsetting is definitely not file size, because the entire principle of it would still keep them keeping track of the same amount of information, because you would... For sunsetting, the mechanic was purely, it set a limit on how high a weapon could be infused to, which would match with the maximum power for that year. So, the only purpose for that is not file size, because you're still having to keep track of all the data for that weapon. If anything, you've added yet more data you have to keep track of per weapon, which is the maximum infusion power. All it really does is it's a forced meta shift. It's an attempt to say, okay, we have all these year one weapons that are still being used, and we want people to use the newer stuff.
Yeah. So that was
get rid of the old stuff, which is such a
being most prevalent. Well,
it's the only justification for it, and I don't like it. It's a shit approach.
They worded it a lot different to that. So the idea was that the actual concern was just that the sandbox was way too bloated with a lot of weapons that people weren't using. So people would hold on to things. Likewise, they didn't like the way people were grinding for rolls. We know now, with the beauty of hindsight, that would eventually transpire into crafting, which was without a doubt the best solution they came up with for the weapon sandbox. And origin perks. But at the time,
they did to some degree say it explicitly, because they said they wanted every weapon to have a year in the limelight.
Yes. There was a lot of... Well, that's the thing, though. That's what I'm saying. Luke Smith said a lot of weird things that didn't quite all fit together very well. It's like he took pieces from different jigsaws and tried to put them together. It was, I want weapons to have a year. I want you to use it for a year, and then, like fucking Andy with Woody, I don't want to play with you anymore, right?
Yeah.
And it's... But then... He also said that there's too many weapons not being used. So yeah, the whole idea of sunsetting was eventually is like all weapons would fall into a sunset, like a instead of a receding horizon, it would be a a darkness behind it that would just gobble things over time. Just like chase after weapons, and they would eventually fall out of usable power spectrum.
Which is just a way to force you to keep getting new weapons without having to give you an actual reason.
But something else he cited as well was pursuit weapons. So, think of the Crucible ones, Revoker, Recluse, Mountaintop.
Recluse, your Mountaintop, your favourites.
Yeah, it was like, they're too powerful, being used all the time, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, they are meta, for sure. They're not all that's being used, because people were using Beloved as well. But sure, okay, there are set weapons that people are using, fine. But isn't that what they're for? And then he sunset them because they were being used too much, mainly in Crucible, but then they made it so you could use sunset weapons in Crucible. And it was just like...
because power didn't matter, so the infusion cap had no effect.
What are you doing? It was just, what is this? You have now just made this weapon, which is useless for PvE, which I think was the target for Mountaintop, because it was a go-to for PvE, even though, I mean... The ability for us to deliver dickings now are far higher than Mountaintop ever allowed us.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I've got to do Essence of English now. Okay, I see how this is.
The Yeah, if anything, I think the entire premise of sunsetting was just the whole trying to make us use more weapons over time without giving an actual justification materially beyond because I said so. Which is, I think, just... I don't like saying this as a general rule, because a lot of times gamers will say, oh, it's lazy, when it's not, and it's a genuine thing. But in this case, it's just lazy game design.
Yeah, it is.
It's just trying to not... Oh, interesting. I don't know how you keep having that bug. Because it's just not wanting to actually think about how to solve the problem. Which they have, in fact, solved for a time, which is just, give us guns that have nice perk combinations that are, more interesting and, give us a reason to keep looking for it.
Well, one of the other benefits and what made Witch Queen really good is obviously there was a much more focus into class synergy.
Yes.
So, because originally
class 3.0s are so good.
Yeah, they rolled around this idea of, for a long time they've been saying words to this effect of, we want you to be able to just pick up a gun and use it, any gun you want. And we've argued before that, bitch, you got bounties that say I've got to get fucking scout rifle kills in this activity.
The infamous DMG one about just, you should be able to pick up one gun and use it for everything, and that's your gun.
Yeah,
yes.
Well, you should just be able to use whatever you want, and it's but I clearly can't. Contrast that with, class synergy, which allows you to build a lot more stuff, and really focus into things, and it's okay, but you have to use these kinds of weapons, is a little bit opposite to that, but does fit more in line with MMO characteristics and just, I think, even some RPG kind of stuff where you're just building a class. You craft something that fits the way you play, that fits how you want to annihilate ads, and you run with it, so you can run. It's a little weird, but Warlock and Titan, I think, are really good at this, and Hunters actually are kind of lacking. They do have it a bit, but it's less controlled. But is the ability to function as support classes. If we're doing a GM, my priority is support. I can go solar, so I can run healing nades, I can run Lumia if I really need to. You got Well of Radiance on there. Exotics I choose, I can run, things that also make empowering rifts at the same time. There's still a lot of stuff I can do. Or I could go full CC. I can go stasis and just make sure ads never move. And depending on the fucking GM, that might be more preferable. The battlegrounds I found stasis to be very useful in, drop them in the middle where all those annoying fucking champions spawn and just never let them see the light of day.
Yeah.
Those classes also have damage options, though I will admit. Stasis, I don't really... I mean, the ult's really good for crowd clear. And can do single target damage. I think Solar's a lot better for that. Obviously with grenades. Hit them with some of them fusion grenades. But Hunters, so you got Silence and Score, which is alright. You've got Tether, again. Okay, but Tether doesn't last anywhere near as long as something like a Bleak Watcher grenade. It does allow you to deliver a lot more damage. So they dip their toe in, I think, support roles. But it tends to be damage support, not ad support.
Yes. I think it's why a lot of the time you always disliked this when I got into Destiny. I'd compare Warlocks to healers in other MMOs. And then Hunters as DPS. But I feel like it kind of fits to some degree. In that Warlocks are more supporty.
Yeah. It doesn't.
Titans don't fit the tank though. So it falls apart there.
No, well, not entirely, but I mean, if you're running Banner Shield, so Void Banner Shield, they are absorbing damage and you can shoot through it, but it is less.
Yes.
But again, it is very support. But they can, basically infinite overshield and things like that. It's really good.
Yeah.
And tanks do, if they're running Laurelly Splendid, they can just run at ads and just twat things. So they maybe not tank in an MMO perspective, but definitely maybe more Juggernaut in sort of action hero perspective, I suppose. Yeah.
They're the closest to a tank,
nice about
at the very least.
Both classes, though, whereas, you might say, Titans are tanks and Warlocks are healers or something like that, is the ability for either class to deal damage is not any less. It's still on the same tier as Hunters. I mean, a Nova Bomb, okay, it's not where it once was, but
I mean,
full Void
if
debuff,
anything, with some Hunter super nerfs, in some respects, you're a little better at this point.
Oh yeah. We are still, I think, top tree for damage, really. Apart from like just crack Titan builds. You know, Banner of War at the moment on thingy.
I want Celestial Knight up that.
Chaos Reach. You know, running Arc, you can deliver quite a lot of damage. You know, and infinite fusion grenades with Starfires and a Well of Radiance, and yeah. So, but yes. It's but with the 3.0 changes and how they've continued to design weapons with origin traits and even the perks they've had, so think of things like repulsor brace and destabilizing rounds and things like that, and headstone,
Yes.
is you can do a lot of synergy, which means I can run full arc, I can put arc reload mods on, because you know it's no longer heavy ammo, it's no longer like machine gun ammo finder, it's now arc ammo finder, right? You know, it's a lot more into the elements, and that's really cool for PvE. Because, you know, I can use a scout rifle, you know, that's void. Okay, I'm using a full motley at the moment, because, you know, I'm just doing a campaign. But, yeah, I can apply debuffs, I can then exacerbate or exploit those debuffs, I can keep that chain going, I can just basically, you know, I can suppress things. I can absolutely rip out a new arsehole. It's really good. And that's what really was missing that Luke Smith couldn't see.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, he would have had influence in Witch Queen, but I think like the weapon crafting was without a doubt that, and the 3.0 was a combo wombo that really needed to happen, and it worked beautifully. Even if some of the crafted weapons were a little odd at the time and they've been through some changes, but you know, that's expected. I think as well, at the time, the weapons did have separate sandboxes. It wasn't really used properly either, which didn't help. Which meant weapons were either Crucible or PvE. There was no in between. Whereas some weapons now, particularly with crafts as well, you know, you can quite happily read a Panda breakdown. It'll be like, some weapons still are either or. But some weapons are, you know what, the fun doesn't stop at PvE. It's, you know, you've put this on this, I can run this, and go and slap some people, have fun.
Yeah. In fact, oh god, I'm trying to remember the name of it. The Crota's End Sniper. I forget what it's called.
Defiance of Yasmin is...
That's the one. Have you read Panda's summary of it?
That's not Crota's End, that's...
King's Fall.
King's Fall.
Both high.
Defiance
they
of
all the same.
Yasmin might be the greatest top-slot sniper we've been given. And that's not because it's necessarily better than Supremacy or Thoughtless.
Thoughtless, yeah.
Because Thoughtless is still fucking cracked. But it is...
I mean, considering Locus Percutus was compared to it, yeah.
Yeah. But Defiance of Yasmin is really strong in both sandboxes for different reasons, and I love it. I think that's really the perfect weapon. Because it's fun to use as well, you know, it's a high impact frame, I think, or whatever. The aggressive frame is what you call the snipers? I can't remember.
As Panda says, it works everywhere.
Yes. There we go. Oh, it's adaptive frame. Yeah, it's...
After being very happy that it's back, because apparently he's been wanting it back for years.
Yes. It's my favourite weapon in all of Destiny. I'm so very happy it's back. Bridges the gap between PvE and PvP perfectly. Add clear perks, Firefly, bigger damage spells like Vocal or Firing Line, Raid Origin perk, makes it an incredible DPS, falls behind Pradis or Succession. So yeah, Pradis is the VOG one and Succession is obviously the DSC one. Succession is one I really want. I really want the DSC one because if you're running double special, as you can do with Strand, you can still quick swap because, you know, Bungie can try to patch things, but I feel like we know their engine better than they do sometimes.
Well, apparently it's a little more complicated to do it now, but they have worked out how to restart the double slug shotgun bug.
Yeah, that's what I was on about.
Because of course they have.
Yeah. I saw somebody doing it and I was like, looks like Kali Solo's back on the menu, boys.
I believe the thing is you have to start sprinting or something, if I'm remembering correctly, and that breaks it into working.
And I think it involves strand grapple in some way as well. Can't really remember.
Yeah, it's something. You use something that's like movie, and then it breaks Bungie's anti-double slug stuff, and then you can double slug.
Yeah. But yeah, Defiance for Yasmin's really good. I quite like Quinlan's as a LMG that you sort of use a little bit like a scout rifle. Yeah, Quillams or whatever. The quivering terminus. You know, the Kingsfall weapons are all really good. Yeah, and the hand cannon's really good. That's really fun to use.
It's always been, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure if it is something I'd use in a high tier activity. I've not really thought about it, but I think hand cannon's in a good spot PvE, and it's really fun to use. I mean, fucking Firefly Incandescent, I can't remember which one. Don't matter. It's got one of those, makes it fun.
Why not both?
Yeah. Why not both? Yeah, a lot of the raid weapons are actually pretty good. And again, you know, the origin perks a lot of these come with now are really good. I mean, there's... Yeah, I can't remember. What is the King's for origin perks? Look. Run over. Reloading near allies overflows the magazine. I mean, it's... In an activity where it's high tier, you're likely to be near allies, you know, like a raid at DPS. What more could you possibly fucking want? I mean, it's literally overflow for free.
Yeah.
It's also a nice hefty sniper as well. I love me a bit of heft in my snipers. This is good. I really wish the Vogue weapons were craftable. We can have them crafted, please.
They'd need to be reissued for that.
Yeah, I think they don't necessarily want to. I don't know if they have origin perks. Tab out again.
Don't think they do, because I don't think they ever reissued them, did they? And Vogue was Spicer, which is, to my eternal chagrin, before origin perks were added.
Oh, they might have though, because, well, DSC has origin perks, and that was Beyond Light.
Yeah, but DSC was reissued.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
You're gonna say, I'm looking for my fucking prize, I don't know what I'm stuck in.
Only anything released, I forget which season it was. The season after Spicer onwards that had, or was reissued after that point has origin perk. Anything released before that point doesn't.
Oh, okay, hang on. I need to. There's a caveat. Is my predecessor's a little old. So hang on. Let me have a look for my found verdict. Oh, let me the fucking search. I'm not going to find anything.
I don't think Vogue was reissued. I don't believe it has an origin perk.
I believe you to be correct, sir. Still, they're a good set of weapons.
Yeah.
Not that they necessarily need an origin perk to be usable, because I do enjoy using them. Yeah, LMGs are good, can roll with Firefly as well.
Still wish they'd reissue the Spicer weapons. I want an origin trait on my Chroma Rush.
Yeah, so having a nice high RPM top slot auto rifle would be nice, but...
Technically those exist. I mean, Crate. Crate is Chroma Rush but stasis, but like, yeah, that's the problem.
Because I don't think we have a high RPM Strand one, do they? Make it Strand.
Technically, the answer is yes. That's Perpetualis.
Yeah, but it's... Yeah, no, it is 600 RPM, isn't it?
Perpetualis is 720.
Oh, damn.
It's equivalent to Crate. The only thing it's not equivalent to Crate on is it handles worse.
Okay. No.
Which is its problem.
Well, I memean, it doesn't have to be elemental. It can be fucking non-elemental. I don't mind.
Chroma Rush would be... like, Chroma Rush reissued would be nice, because then that's kinetic.
Yeah.
And it'd be nice to actually have a kinetic option now, because that doesn't exist anymore.
Because what's nice about kinetic is the siphon mods are cheaper.
And more specifically, if Bungie ever decides to do that and happens to take my advice on board, they're not going to, because they won't watch this. But if they were going to, I'd love it to advise Stinger. More specifically,
Yeah, so I don't think they could make it Vice without it, because Vice, is a manufacturer. And
I know. The origin traits are always tied to the weapon foundry, which is why Vice, Stinger, and so on.
But, I mean... Yeah,
but they could just say Chroma Rush is actually a Vice weapon!
Well, they could give it like a... sort of... Because the Spicer stuff is all techy and slightly Vex-linked. You could give it something like... spliced rounds, where the rounds double up or something, right? You get like reconstruction, essentially.
Just anything that allows me to absolutely maximize the subsistence effect, because Jesus Christ, I do not like reloading.
That's right, these days the masterwork I tend to put on weapons when I craft is reloading. Unless that weapon is something that works on overflow or something.
The entire reason I can't use Synchronic Robot is just the fact that it reloads too often. Otherwise it would just be better than Perpetualis, but it's just... I don't like reloading.
You're gonna boop him into the fucking thing.
I don't know why he went left. I genuinely don't understand what I just witnessed. I'll pretend Bungie's logic makes sense to me. I guess. Summary of what I dislike about Shadowkeep. The Mickey Mouse bit where you have to hunt down the Dreambane armor. AKA this bit.
That's what I'm kind of on about with Forsaken as well, is up until Witch Queen, all the expansions had
I know,
shit
they
like
all had
this
this structure.
where
I know.
part of the campaign was just doing the normal patrol zone stuff.
Yeah.
Which is like, I get you want people to do the patrol zone, but
And
given
technically they still have that as just the optional mission that's given to you halfway through. But that's a better way to do it.
That's the thing. Give it optional, tie it to an exotic or something to go do things, or tie it to, well, what they did in Lightfall, which is nice, is you get a deep sight. Yes,
Yeah.
I'll do that. I'll do deep sight.
A deep sight and a triumph.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Well, yeah, tying it to the seal is another way, and the fact is that there's just that people are going to play the game, they're going to do the patrol zone.
Yeah.
That's what always annoyed me with Forsaken, having to go and do, like, the Mad Bomber, where you got to do that fucking lost save, and it's like, bitch, I've had to do this already. Like, why am I here again?
Yep. At some point, it would be nice to see what about the Taken King makes people like that so much, but also, good lord, I'm not playing Destiny 1. Considering it was the third one on the Forsaken, Witch Queen, and Taken King list.
It's likely, I mean, if you was to play it now, I imagine it would feel a bit underwhelming compared to, things like the Witch Queen. I mean, you'd be sitting there thinking, what's so fucking special about this?
I mean, I just can't play D1 anyway because flipping controller and 30 FPS.
Yeah, I've been sort of
Not
trying to develop
how
the
I
strength
play
to do that.
this.
Yeah, and I don't know if I do have the strength to do that, because I believe I do own Destiny 1, and I just...
Like, I can play controller. I can play controller games. I can play at certain games at 30 FPS. Like, I'm not snobbish about it, but this is a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
That's the bit where it's not snobbery.
Well,
it's
also
how.
It's once you go black, you never go back. It's like once you do high FPS, it's really hard to tolerate the input latency and just how horrible it is.
I mean, I think it's just an FPS is so specifically like sensitive to FPS, ironically enough.
It's very sensitive to how you feel that feedback loop between action and reaction. Like, something, I don't know, it doesn't matter. But, yeah, in a shooter, it really does, because...
What I think I've had some thought about this in the past, about, like, I think there's also just the level of indirection between inputs. Like, if I move my mouse to the right, physically, then I look to the right in real time.
Yes.
If I move a thumbstick to the right on a controller, I start turning to the right.
Yes.
It's a level of indirection to it, and I don't think that works in first person. Like, it can work in third, which is why I can play third person RPGs, but it just doesn't for first, I think.
I've not minded, but once you do like mouse and keyboard FPSs, they are sort of, it's really hard to go back. Because, I mean, your mouse map, the area in which you move your mouse, kind of directly translates to your screen, minus some, scale factor.
Yeah.
Which would be your sensitivity multiplier, really.
Your sensitivity in a DPI, and then that's just your screen is your mouse pad.
Yeah, and like if I move my mouse like held down from one place to another, that's essentially from where if you used to screenshot where I was before I did the movement, I am now moving my crosshair to that position. Now, obviously, your crosshair stays in the center of your screen and your world revolves around, but it's a logical mapping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to play, like COD and stuff on the controller on the Xbox. I used to be really good, but I can't remember what it was. Was it we went back to play Black Ops 2 or something on some 360s at one point, and I was like, holy shit, I am crap on controller now.
I would love to see you play Halo on an Xbox controller now.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like the first time, you might not remember, but I remember the first time getting used to play Halo on my Xbox in my room. And it gave you the controller, you was like looking up at the ceiling, looking down at the floor, and I was like, what are you doing? Just look dead ahead. Yeah, I was doing that, essentially, and I was like, holy shit. That's it, I'm old now. Can't do it. That's it. And which is weird, because, it's not something you notice for, racing, right? If I play a racing game, you don't feel any of that. Because obviously the controller's logical for that, but like you say, it's not logical for a shooter, really.
Though apparently it can be compensated for by gyroscopic controls, according to the Steam Deck. And the people who've done that, apparently works really well. Because your gyroscopic controls become basically your mouse. And then
is it like is it like the top stage level, so it sort of feels like you're moving a mouth a little bit? Is that how that works?
Depends on the game. I know that the way that it actually ends up working in CS is actually you use your thumbstick that you'd normally use for looking as actually a look directly in the location that you've moved the thumbstick to. So if you do a 180, you just pull it back and you spin round instantly, faster than you could do on a mouse.
So it's like a top-down view. It almost becomes like, in terms of from that
basically
perspective. Anyway,
and then for fine-tuning, you have the gyro controls. So you just move the Steam Deck in real world, just to move it to the head. Apparently, it works really well.
That seems so weird, but probably works really well because anything where you can physically do. I mean, imagine if you could physically touch your monitor where you want it to aim. So if you had a small monitor, because that'd be arse on a big monitor like mine, but if you could do that on a small monitor, you'd never miss a headshot. You'd be like, there. You could just track something with your finger.
Minus the inaccuracy of your finger.
Yes.
They're notoriously bad. But yeah.
I mean, imagine if you could use your eyes as a fucking crosshair, like those eye tracker things, if they weren't shit.
Well, once they become more accurate as well.
Yeah, I was saying if they watch it, but imagine if you yeah.
Yeah.
I'll talk to Eris again.
Goodness me, even the Shadowkeep stuff was reissued before flipping Origin traits were added.
Yes, it was. So
Cringe.
that's kind of what makes them, despite being reissued, still not worth having.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a shame because there's a missing category of weapons, which are the what things like the Kindled Orchid and the Lullaby. Well, I forget its full name, but the Shadowkeep Lullaby one fell into. I believe they're both void middle. They're both void hand cannons, and they are particular frame. And as far as I'm aware, there's a slight deficit in that category.
Is there?
There you go. So it's a 140 adaptive frame. We've got quite a few middle slot precisions. But I don't think we have 140 adaptives kicking about much these days. Oh no, the optative, whatever. Okay, that's a 180 precision, but it's void. Got aggressives, got adaptives, but yeah, it's. I don't know. I feel like there's something. Look, just give me black armory weapons, man. Now what do I have to do? In the deep. I'm gonna assume I have to go to the flag. Yep.
If it's an actual mission, then yep.
Well, my own 10 of 19, so I think this will be the last one for when I'm caught up to you. Because 10 of 19, do the essence, talk to Eris, that'll pretty much be 14, right? Which is what you're on.
10 of 19 is do the mission, 11 is visit Eris. Empower, yep. Pretty much, yeah.
Sound.
Once you get to me, it's the, oh hey, it splits off into 3 different missions that you have to do. And it's the Mickey Mouse on of bit of it where it's get your Dreambane armor pieces.
I don't think you actually need to wear them either, which is funny.
You do. You have to wear all 5 to go into the mission. The final one, that is. You don't have to wear them for getting the Dreambane armor pieces, but you have to wear them to finish the campaign. As Jeff discovered when he dismantled one of them.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if I've dismantled one. Oh, no, I haven't.
If you have, you'll have to reclaim the mission from the rectum.
No, I haven't dismantled it yet. Sounds good.
Cool. Yeah. I'm really glad they haven't done this again.
Well, I suppose if you read it properly, you know not to delete them, but the chances of accidentally deleting gear is quite high sometimes.
Yes. And also just, I don't like being made to wear the Dreambane armor. I just don't like it.
Yeah. I do wonder why they didn't change armor to, with the exception of raid armor that has intrinsic, like, sort of benefits, it's like the raid perks, why they didn't just get rid of the majority of armor, turn them all into just cosmetic overlays, and then just have generic armor, or like, you know what I mean? So you can like work for that generic armor, and then everything else is just a cosmetic instead of having different armors for a million. You know what I mean? Like, because if you're going to transmog them anyway.
Yeah.
Because at that point, you don't actually care about a lot of the armor you get, like seasonal armor. You don't really care about it. Okay, it does come with benefits, but I tend not to use them because as I go for the seals and the triumphs, I grind them enough that I don't need those benefits.
I have to agree, actually. I feel like what they could just do is, rather than having a seasonal armor set, it's a seasonal set of ornaments.
That's our
Which they already have. They have the seasonal ornaments, but maybe give us 2 sets of seasonal ornaments.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know why the majority of armors aren't just default ornaments. Because I was
and yeah, just all of the random Mickey Mouse ones could just be
ornaments.
Generic ornament, generic armor rather, and then just yeah.
I mean, because you think about it, imagine you had just some base armor, like an armor like base, right? So you had armor bases, and they're what you worked for to get your gear, and they were all the same, right? So you know, there was no like, oh, this is this type, this is this type, or any of that. They're all just a standard default, could be its own color or something, or grey or whatever, right?
Because that is basically what they are at this point. Because it's like, no matter which Mickey Mouse armor you get, you treat it the same.
Yeah. Well,
is the number higher? Yes.
Armor, if I get good artificer armor or something like that, odds are I don't tend to like the look of most dungeon armors, so I'm just
you'll transmog
over them. So when you think about it, the stats don't need to be tied to the aesthetic, is essentially what I'm saying. If you do what I did, you need to make sure that you can survive the job.
We know not what the Hive
But,
plan to do with power as dangerous as this. They must not find success.
I just thought it occurred to me, and I was like, when you think about what transmog does, it's really just a little hop away from just having armor, aesthetic, and stats completely dissociated.
I guess probably the point, though, it's just they already have the armor in the game. It's already a working system.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's not. Yeah. I highly doubt whether they make it as an ornament set or an armor set. It's probably the same amount of work, all things considered.
Oh yeah, I think it was just the shortest distance from what they already had in the game.
Yes.
But I was just sat there thinking about it. I think I was having a shower or something. I was like,
but yeah, definitely if they were to make Destiny from the ground up, you would logically just make it as base armor, maybe some fancy armors for specific activities, and that's it.
Yeah. Or maybe you could just issue new bases.
But even then, I'd maybe just say those are like some kind of mod.
Yeah. We have the raid mods, yeah.
Yeah. Just don't tie the raid mods to specific raid armor.
Take a slot. I feel like I've worked for the armor. I've worked for the mod.
Like artifice armor.
Yes. I just because then it means like
where it should be a free slot.
But then I guess there's an argument of well, it's configurability. You can choose. Do you want another ammo finder mod, or is this mod so valuable you're willing to forgo that? Which makes sense,
they
except for
very rarely are.
So some of them are good, like so the Kingsfall ones are good, and I think some of the Crota's End ones are good. I think I was looking at them and I was going, well, we're definitely going to need that if we do this fucker on Master.
Fair point,
but then you
Master.
look at things, certain raids like Vogue or something, and you're like, well, do I need extra Oracle damage from a scout rifle? No, not really.
No, you just put Xenophage on.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Yeah. Yeah, I sort of feel like because some of the DSC ones are like interesting, but not interesting enough for me to wear armor, which is typically a lower stat than my usual go-to armor.
The pyramid
Yeah.
contracts, nothing more. When you have the cryptoglyph in hand, I will teleport you out.
Shadowkeep was kind of cool visually. I know it's quite dark and green, but at the same time, just look at that big pyramid there foreboding.
Yeah, no, it's very cool. I mean, also just the prologue mission. Jesus Christ, some of the cinematography Bungie did for that.
Reveal there.
Where it's just like, you see Earth, and it's like, that's cool. And then you, just 2 seconds later, oh shit.
Yeah. But it's
especially when this released and you've not seen 3 pyramids since.
Like you're playing, you turn that corner, and then you're like, oh fuck, it's a pyramid. Which back then as well, considering
when you haven't seen 3 pyramids, and it's the first one since the cutscene.
Since the end of the campaign, the Red War.
Yeah.
The activation. It's like, oh shit, like this is big, and it's on Moon. And it's like, shit, like oh shit. I mean, to be fair, they are good at doing some pretty good reveals at time.
Grab it.
Yes.
Like Rourke, when you first meet Rourke and you fucking walk up and he spins down and then drop kicks your ass, and it's like...
refuses to use his hands the entire fight.
Like a child.
Just like, you Guardians don't even deserve all of my effort. Regrets at the end.
Well, I mean, he does pull out his fucking... When you get to DPS, he does then obviously go max power mode, I suppose. But...
He still only kicks though, doesn't he?
No. He
Does he?
hits you with a stick. I mean, the damage is the same, I think. Apart from the fact that you get the pervading darkness.
Yeah.
Alright, I killed an important looking wizard. I could have sworn there was a deciming timer on this, but
I don't think yet.
oh, we can damage her. Oh, she did. Peg the Hive Cryptoglyph. It's quite a cool physical expansion to get with this as well, because you got a mini version of this.
I remember you showing me.
Teleport us out. Eris, are you there?
I don't remember that. That's kind of cool.
It's basically Bungie if they decided to make a horror season.
They're pretty good at the little horror stuff on Bungie. I mean, Presage, The Flood.
This.
You went ahead of me. You're just eating shit from that shriek.
Yeah, I know.
And now the other one.
I know.
And the wizard. I've not been hit by anything.
Good for you.
Bane of the Catacombs. I'm going to assume that's a darkness debuff. I feel like you should be able to, something you can't do in this, but when you have buffs active on the screen, you should be able to press F1 to hover over and like on your thing and see what the buffs are doing.
Yes, get like an actual description.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's something they might give us with the rework for buffs in Final Shape.
I feel like every expansion there's talk of reworking buffs every fucking time.
Well, this is supposed to be a complete overhaul for how buffs will show up on screen.
Yeah. Well, haven't they only done that a little bit? Where they're like trying to make it better.
So all of the stuff they've done until now has been incremental. The whole like adjusting priorities of buffs and trying to make sure that the important ones show up first and all that kind of stuff, and it's never really worked. This is a overall attempt to just break things up, put things in different places, and make it work.
The immense darkness of the
Is what Joe's promised.
But we must not waste time.
Yeah.
With the cryptoglyph in hand, we stand a chance against the pyramid.
We'll see.
I don't want it to all just be symbols. I have a personal vendetta against anything that just uses symbols.
If they listen to the community that keep asking for just symbols in the bottom left, I'm going to strangle someone.
Symbols might make sense for some buffs as long as they're obvious, but I'm looking right now, I've got keep away, and the symbol for that is a big triangle. It's got 3 arrows on it. And I was just like, if I saw that, I'd be like, what the fuck's that?
Frankly, there's just too many symbols in Destiny anyway. I don't think we need more symbols.
We need a raid thread that's just symbols for buffs at that point. Like,
we would.
Like, I'm happy, you know, make the text smaller or something, but just give me a big old stack of them on the left. I want to see everything.
I believe the idea is to make like the imminent, like maybe the countdown timers for raid buffs and things are supposed to be basically by your reticle. And then stuff that you don't need to look at so much will be off to the sides of the screen. And maybe on different sides of the screen.
Which I don't think we'll get, but the ability to
I don't expect that.
or position them would be nice, because I don't know how they'd make buffs show up in Crucible. It'd be very annoying to have them by my crosshair. Very annoying. What
I do not want is the ESO approach to buff display on screen, which is there is an absolutely huge bar just beneath your crosshair, which is just symbols, and I have no idea what any single one of them means. The only ones I can work out what they mean are the ones that have a countdown and appear right after I've pressed a button.
Yes.
I can work out those ones. No idea on the others.
Ikora listens. I see understanding, not sorrow, in her eyes now. I am glad of it.
God, I forget how imposing the Leviathan is.
Toland has found himself amongst the chaos of Luna. He always did.
Well, it wasn't. It was never this close, like in
I know.
perspective on this. But it doesn't look like it's actually devouring the moon like it was on Nessus.
They took my light.
I mean, there's floating shit, but that just might be from its arrival. But yes, very cool.
That is not Saimoda. I will not give in to the pyramid's tricks. In times of crisis, Ariana
I ain't got me
is a
boots.
soothing voice.
You can buy phantasmal fragments for shards.
Wait, can you? Is this a banking? No. Is this a banking shards into phantasmal fragments for money strategy later on? Holy shit.
Let me Google this quickly in case I'm missing something.
Reddit noticed a month ago.
Yeah, what are they saying about it? Oh yeah, wait till you...
No one's saying that they have in fact confirmed that they're being removed, so yes, it should be fine. Until eventually, like, Bungie have indicated that like planetary materials will be disappearing in time, but right now they're just not dropping, but still available at all, and they've not set a time frame for removing them. So this would work as a stopgap.
Problem is, 10 at a time's a bit tedious.
A valid criticism here is the one that says, like, his 22,000 shards will convert into 2.2 million glimmer, and he's got to sit there at the lectern and click 2,200 times. To quote the person who said this, fuck that noise.
I don't think people remember the cashing in of the tokens. You used to get tokens from doing strikes way back when.
I remember.
To get the Zavala's authority, and cashing them fuckers took hours. It took ages to grind the fuckers, and it took ages to click the 20 per rank up, so you click 20.
When they were like, especially when they got rid of those tokens, and they were like, oh, they're going next season, and it's like, well, shit, now I have to cash in all my many thousands.
Yeah,
no.
I think in that season I got to rank 500 with Saladin, handing in my own banner token. I spent ages just clicking. There we go. Yeah, okay. I'll probably do that at the end of the season. Oh, don't dismantle that, we need that. Alright, what's my next step? Oh, I jumped through this portal apparently.
Also, that guy's complaining about having to click 2,200 times.
Don't worry about it.
Try 4,830.
Yeah. Oh, I'm speaking with the Baldy.
Ikora, yeah.
The Vanguard with the most hair.
To be fair, that's not really much of a claim at the moment, given there's only 2 Vanguards.
No, but even when Cade was there, she was still the Vanguard with the most.
I know.
She's got head stubble. Deval is perfectly shaven, bald, waxed to a polish.
I had to see it.
And Cade's got his metallic dome.
How long has it sat in silence?
It's not sat in silence. It's because it's Nezzy's and he's been gobbled.
He hadn't been gobbled yet.
Feel responsible for this, Eris.
Yeah.
Hadn't sent
Nezarek's been cut up and carved over centuries.
Yeah, but he wasn't eaten. That's when Mithrax turned the relics into a tea and fed it to Osiris.
Some of the relics had been eaten in the past.
Okay,
Some
maybe.
smaller
Okay.
relics.
Partially gobbled
yeah.
then.
Okay, but I mean, if you consider as small critters acting as detritus,
You're all insufferable.
what is your favourite word?
For someone who gives a damn.
I love this scene just because of that. It's great.
Eris. The Vanguard is at
I relate to Eris on so many levels.
If you'll excuse us, Ikora, we have work to do.
It doesn't seem that bad, like when you look at it there, but when you consider the
whatever she needs.
The nightmares we had in the Haunted, if you consider that all like that, then suddenly, yeah, it's just quite impressive she hasn't just fucking like leapt off the side of that viewpoint there.
Yeah.
I just love the framing of this. Cinematography for this campaign was
The
actually pretty good.
cinematography is so good. It is really just the Halloween expansion. That's all this is. Because even the music's trying its damnedest to make you spooked.
I've never read the lore that came with the expansion for this. The
Which
physical
lore
lore
book? There's multiple.
The collective.
Oh, the physical lore. No, because I don't have access to it. At some point, I might. At some point, I've been meaning to get the physical lore books into like a PDF form for me to read from. Probably just scamming it from the Ishtar Collective.
Yeah.
Not got around to it
There's
yet.
some pretty cool stuff, and like so it's all from the perspective of like the First Light crew who came here. You know, so all this is all First Light, like the Golden Space mission. That was really cool. I was sort of hoping there'd be a bit more spacey stuff in this campaign, like sort of following this up, you know, but I think it described, if I remember correctly, the discovery of the artifact that ends up on the space station in DSC. So I think it's the discovery of the Deep Stone Crypt artifact, I think. If I remember
Is it
correctly.
not the...
You know that big statue that Clovis uses to
never
make
mind.
the Exos?
Yeah.
I am now on step 14 of 19. Defeat the 3 remaining members of the
Yep, this is the Mickey Mouse. Here's 3 missions that you've got to do.
It's been Mickey Mouse so far anyway.
I know.
In my nightmares, I see.
It's pre-Beyond Light. It's all Mickey Mouse.
I wonder if the light of Omar
Beyond Light is slightly less Mickey Mouse. Still somewhat Mickey Mouse. And then Witch Queen, they finally learned how to make a linear narrative.
They took my light.
We took them, what, 5 years?
They got there in the end. Alright, so... Oh, we have to drive to the Mobile, so we get in...
Well, you do. I can stay here.
I'll make you fire team lead, motherfucker.
Please don't.
He doesn't want the burden.
I have very limited capacity.
Yeah. Even without the fucking campaign stuff, I still have like 1,500 pages of just the in-game lore books to read.
There's lots and lots.
There is lots.
Like, could you imagine doing the Scroter and Master? Getting that final Vanguard lore book, eh?
The Vanguard rulebooks I don't include because they're not actually rule.
Are they not?
Not really. It's basically Bungie trying to give new players a bit of background, is the idea.
I don't know what background you can be adding at tier 11, which only about 4%
Tier 11, I think, is more of a pat on the back. Well done! Kind of message.
Foot rub for getting for tier 11.
So you can kind of tell if you...
I haven't actually read them,
Rulebook.
I'll be honest.
It's like a Guardian's Ideals,
Many perished.
which is what you get for rank 10.
Serves as a permanent reminder of all the lives
He's
lost.
very, like...
The whim of a single kill. No matter how
Oh, yeah,
hard
okay, I
the
see.
Lord may try.
Yeah,
But it's a bit annoying having one missing, but yes, okay.
I agree. It's why I'm annoyed they put one for rank 11. They just didn't need to. And I'd be much happier if they didn't.
Done? You know, with the new light experience, I know they've got all this stuff that introduces things, and a lot of it is written and pop-ups on screen. I don't know why it's never been done as someone guiding you through it. I don't know why it's never been done. Like, when I think of good tutorial missions in games, they normally have someone who serves as an experienced, sort of trusting member tell you things. Like, oh,
That's
you
supposed
press this,
to
and then a
be-
pop-up appears at the same time.
That is supposed to be the role of Ghost, which does happen in the tutorial, and Shohan.
Okay.
It doesn't really
To be
work,
fair,
though.
I don't think I've really actually played it.
But
What is
they
the
have changed the
tutorial?
tutorials since when you did it. So
What is the tutorial? / I never got a tutorial. I got the Red War campaign.
that was my also original one. It's now the D1 tutorial, which I realise doesn't help you because you've not done that either.
No. I'm just trying to envision what it is.
It summarizes. You wake up. You wake up in the Cosmodrome, and then it tries to
it's
guide
the
you
one where
through
you find the
things.
ship
And then,
kind of deal.
yes, you find the ship, you leave, and then there's Shohan.
How does it,
Something
does it,
happens with him.
press Q to throw a grenade, or does it show you through anything like, oh, these are your aspects, and these what these do? And as you can see on
Most
the
of the
left your
things
screen,
that
you see a
say-
buff.
So it won't call out buffs and things, and most of the things are like just a pop-up at the bottom saying press Q to throw a grenade. And
It should call out buffs. I
It
don't know why
should. It doesn't. It doesn't explain champions. It never has explained champions, and it's why I am so glad that Guardian ranks exist, because they explain champions.
Yeah,
It's the
so
first time
people read
Bungie's ever felt the need.
Dead ahead.
Yeah, as if people read them. The
That is if people read.
Because the
At
problem
least
is
there's
they're
also
not
now the
pointing to
summary
buffs
as
on
well
the
if you
left.
hover over the thing.
It's to some people who get to a reasonable state where they just don't know to look over there for buffs.
Yeah.
It's just never told.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like
I think it's an eternal issue of Bungie will maybe at some point learn how to make a new player experience.
Hey, check out this area, give this a look, kind of deal. Like,
But at the same time, Pete Parsons still can't comprehend the idea that maybe having, you know, a one-click buy for everything that a new player needs would help the new player a lot. I don't see much happening for a while.
Financial targets by 45%. It's obvious that you need to buy 10 million different things on the store, but make sure you think carefully because you might buy the same thing twice.
It's so dumb. Like,
It's a really
either make them
thing
free or make them just have a bundle that's just here's everything. Enjoy. Like,
I don't know why some of the really older stuff isn't quite heavily discounted either, because it's not like they spend development time on it anymore. They recuperated all that stuff.
well,
Your
again,
point is-
as Pete Parsons said, you wouldn't believe how many people buy it. It's like,
yeah, sure. But use it
you
as a
wouldn't believe
loss
how
leader
many
to get
people
to
leave
buy your big, big
because
stuff.
they have to buy it.
Yeah, but leave it as a loss. Like, use it as a loss leader so people buy your bigger stuff that actually A, makes you money, B, means you can keep people like the Chad Savage one.
And C
Like, what
is
the
just
fuck?
better content. Like, imagine you're a new player and you buy and you think, okay, I'll start with the oldest expansion. So you buy Shadowkeep. Some of them might not play Witch Queen because they expect it to be like this.
Yes.
Because It's a good story and stuff, but it's not what Destiny is now.
It's also really hard to appreciate certain parts of the story without having all of the Red War in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same argument. I know it's like a drum that keeps getting beaten, but there's a reason for that.
The DCV is the worst decision they have ever made, even though it had to be made, I guess, but...
Maybe porting certain things to the engine, but the campaigns didn't need engine porting. Like, they...
Yeah. It's like...
And, like, you know, okay, you brought the Leviathan back, and I thought they did a pretty good job with that. Yes,
the Leviathan was nice, and I liked that.
You know, but I mean, I did containerize it, put it in a little window. Hell, you know, on the right screen you click a launch, and maybe, you know, it like opens a mini.
Well, hell, they could they've got the whole timeline reflections thing now. Why not just put the entire Red War campaign accessible from that screen?
When I saw that, when with Lightfall that was introduced, and it made you click through it, I was like, wait, what? Are we going to get it all? I saw the Red War there, and I hovered over for it, and I was like, wait, what is this?
Wait, this is such a perfect screen to just have a button that says play, and then you play through the Red War. And that'd be great. That'd be wonderful. Absolutely glorious. Instead, you have a description, which no one's going to read and doesn't really tell you anything. Like, I'm sorry, the fact that the Red War is summarized to Dominus Gaul assaulted the last city. It's like, what? Okay.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice.
It's better than nothing, but it should just be a press this to play the Red War.
A Luke Smithian term, half baked.
Yeah. What I also find funny is actually, if you do look at the timeline, some of the seasons, Season of the Seraph, for example, haven't been updated to note that they're not the current season.
Oh, yeah.
So...
Well, that's the problem when you try and do live things that reflect the current state. Unless you make it easily scriptable, and if it requires manual maintenance, it's never going to get done. Like, it's just... if you think the list of tickets you have to do, of work you need to do, update that is not going to be high on that list.
Yeah. Hopefully at some point they finally give us DCV stuff back.
I would be... maybe they're saving it for after Final Shape. Like,
I still remember there was that whole redacted thing that was supposed to be in development alongside Final Shape, wasn't there? Or am I making that up? I swear I saw that at some point. It was in a GDC talk at some point. I remember there being a slide about it.
Can't remember. Just like I don't think I looked at it.
Assuming I'm not making it up and I am in fact remembering correctly, like, I can't help but hope that that's maybe DCV stuff coming back.
Maybe. I mean, what I have liked is, like, you know, over the past couple of years, they've been slowly reintroducing D1 content. You know, it seems like they're aiming towards having D1 and D2 together.
Having both of them in one game would be nice, especially having them both in this game.
Get both raids. Hell, I mean, I would rip my dick off if you gave me the D1 campaign in here at 60 FPS.
Yeah, I would love that. Because I really want to experience it, but I just can't stomach.
But it also makes sense to have the complete light and dark saga in here. You know, it's...
Yeah.
And you could reuse, you know, like, I mean, if you think of some of the porting work they've done already, you can reuse things like the Devil's Lair Strike. You haven't got to report that again, you know, it's there. You know, with the new ads you put in, you know, with the bricks and stuff, so... yeah. But the other option is, yeah, I mean, if they can bring the actual Destiny 2 campaigns forward as well, that'd be nice. I mean,
like, you know, even if... Because, of course, Pete Parsons can't think of anything but money. I would even pay for it if you just called it, I don't know, Destiny Remastered within Destiny 2.
So you and I would pay for it because we're Bungie.
A lot of the community would be absolutely
The
Livid?
community might implode. The community might actually fucking burst the vessel collectively at the idea of having to pay for existing content that was removed that they didn't like to be removed.
I don't like the idea. Okay, the Destiny 2 stuff that was removed when it returns shouldn't be paid.
Oh, you mean D1?
I fully agree with the community.
Yeah, I'd pay for
the D1
remaster.
stuff, if they brought that in, I'd pay for Destiny Remastered in Destiny 2. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Make it a proper remaster, not just a port, please.
Yes.
Nothing pisses me off than the Bethesda model of remastering things, where we made the water look slightly better than now.
There's still a mod to improve the water.
Yeah. The mod is still useful. Yeah. But yeah, having D1 and D2 would be
The best part of Skyrim Special Edition is when just Skyrim had the mod Realistic Water, and then Skyrim Special Edition releases, and guess what? There's Realistic Water too.
Electric Boogaloo. Yeah. Can you imagine having like the I don't mind if they make it a separate, like, you launch it from like the Destiny launcher, but it's still for the most part the original game, like in its own little container.
Even if it wasn't in Destiny 2 and it was a different game, then yeah, that's still fine as long as it's not the same experience as Destiny 1. But yeah, having it all in the same game would be nice.
Who knows? Maybe we'll even get things like SRL back.
But now you're going too far.
But yeah, no, I'd like the old raids back. I mean, you can keep the raid layers. I think collectively most people didn't really care too much about them. I guess bring the Callous raid back, maybe. I liked it, but overall it wasn't my favourite raid by a long stretch. Give me Scourge and Spanky, please. I want Spanky back. I missed the way his move would jiggle as he came to slap me with those sticks.
But you have the duality dungeon.
Oh, of course. But that's only a little bit of Spanky, and that's mini Spanky. With Spanky, you get to fight big Spanky.
Yeah, I know.
You get to give him nipple tassels. That was a strat. Put anarchy on his nips.
Yes. God, I remember when the strategy was anarchy, and then you'd have a bit of Outbreak perfected.
Outbreak perfected to the dome, yeah. See, we need Spanky back. And give us Scourge, because any idiot can do Scourge.
And also Scourge, I mean... Scourge was back when Whisper was good.
Yeah. Kind of. I think it's just it really suited the...
It was still doable, so we used Whisper. Which is better than Whisper currently gets.
What's funny is if you actually pay attention to the Just Wipe video, and I was debating when I made that video at the time to make a second video, which is just boss attempts, but I couldn't be arsed finding all the clips, and I think it's kind of, you know, it only needs to be done once really, one and done kind of deal. But if you look at when we're at the boss, you just look at the different loadouts we're using. I think from my perspective alone, you see me use Whisper, Darcy, Izzy's, and I think a linear fusion rifle.
Holy shit, you used Darcy?
Yeah, it's interesting what loadouts. And you can you can slowly track the desperation in loadouts. Little bastard.
How things have changed. Now it's all Thunderlord.
Yeah, Thunderlord and Div Bubble. I noticed that the Chaos Reach actually does a Lightning Strike as well. With Geo,
does
I
it?
wonder if that Lightning Strike benefits from Div Bubble as well. I've just not really been asked to test it, and without a tribute haul, I don't think it's the easiest thing to test, unless you load up a raid boss and do wipe for damage.
Yeah, I think that's the idea.
We're not a wipe for damage, we're just wipe.
Yes. At some point, you know what we should have on the soundboard? You saying just wipe.
Just wipe. Oh yeah, but no, because one of you fuckers will fucking put that, and I'll be there in the rig, and we can do this, and then I'll just see you all jump off the map. What the fuck are you doing?
That's a fair point. there is an issue with adding just wipe to the soundboard, yeah.
That said, we do have bomb has been planted and bomb has been diffused for malicious use, so...
That's evil!
Yeah, well, we've done that before. We've got it to work on. I think we did it on Baggy, but like we're, you know, it's like, oh, you know, where have they gone or something like that. You know, we've planted and a few people have gone hunted, and then someone's just gone and
Bomb has been defused.
and Baggy's gone what? Just watching his confusion because it's like we still win the round and the bomb goes off. He's like, I heard it get diffused. Something wrong with this fucking game.
Shut up, Baggy!
I love playing with Baggy. Just trying to explain the concept of Baggy to someone is just.
What do you mean? It'll sell you a.
More than. You know, I like playing 1.6, but you know the graphics really outdated. And then Josh goes, "Oh, you dissed Jason and the Argonauts." Silence for like 10 seconds, and then Baggy just goes, "Grease." So fucking funny to me.
Careful though, it'll try to sell. It'll sell you a painted flipping.
Barbecue.
Barbecue.
That's the one. About, oh, they want to make a version 3.
Version 3. What do we charge now? 60 quid.
60. Yeah, we're gonna have another bag, another session at Maggie's at some point. It's so good.
You know what the best kind of jokes to refer to on stream is?
What?
Inside jokes that no one's ever gonna get.
I feel like they need to just be paying attention here longer, you know, and so then they're part of the
clearly a them issue.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you got a Vanguard shader on one of your guns? I just say some
It's
orange.
the Thoughtless. I've put the
And the hunter vanguard was left without a
Triumphant keepsake on it.
Bad, that.
Yeah.
The gold tassels and the silver body looks okay. The orange is still a bit.
The orange is obnoxious, as it will always be. But I figured I got it from Grandmasters. I've got to put it on something. So.
But it doesn't look like traffic cones like it does on some other weapons.
Yeah. At some point, they'll give us an actually decent Vanguard shader.
Well,
actually, if you do look at the shader game, one of the Vanguard shaders looks like it's from the Crucible.
Yes. Well, what's weird, because Vanguard primary colour, do you think, yeah, okay, orange. You also think blue. Lots of blue.
Yeah.
Partially because Zavala is blue, but you think blue. There's lots of blue
I mean,
in the Vanguard
the screen in the director...
for Vanguard is blue.
Yes. The logo for Vanguard is blue.
And the thing is, you know, blue would have been a much less ass primary colour to have than orange.
But there is also the law that they have to follow of the fact that Zavala designed the Vanguard colorways, and Zavala is a Titan. And Eva Levant specifically calls out Zavala's colors for being very colourful.
True, but then you just run the Crucible colours on a gun if you want something really, you know, interesting. Yeah, they turn your guns into Nerf guns. Why is it fallen? I need to kill Hive.
It's almost like it's the nightmare of a fallen boss.
You have a flying foot. It's moon.
Also, I'd like to point out that everyone who took part in the shader game was very small brain for the fact that they did not, in fact, realise for the longest time that if they're trying to come up with a shader that has red and blue in it or whatever, and it didn't have to have both in, it just needed to have one of those colours in. The moment you have red as an option, you just put Crucible and then any word from the dictionary.
Yeah, that's all they do, isn't it?
Yeah, it took them a while to notice that.
Also, it took me a while to notice you'd revived me because I was watching your stream to see you revive me for some reason.
What?
These streams got delay, obviously, you know, from like.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you when you punch that Fallen. We punched him now on stream. So I was like,
so you've got like a 2-second delay or something like that, I guess.
Yeah. I was like just eating shit and getting going. Oh, he's revived me already.
Funny that. I just said funny that.
Yeah. Remember having to do the master versions of these for the seal way back when. Me and Chubbs two-manning these. There's a shank in the floor. So come this way, come this way, come this way. Come on, come out the floor. Fuck.
Oh, he's teleported.
He TP'd out, okay. He was just drifting in and out of the stairs. But again, grey studs.
That bug seems a lot less prevalent in recent expansions. Something tells me someone's been a lot more zealous with the clipping mask.
Yeah. Slash, instead of just doing clipping mask, define like very simple geometric shapes where ads are allowed to go.
Yeah.
Rather than rely on terrain clipping. Get food, Fallen boy.
Alex put up a fight, but we got
And now we have to defeat Fallen.
Good. We
Oh,
draw
for fuck's sake.
closer to the pyramid with every victory.
Again, the summary of the issues with Shadowkeep.
What t-shirt are you wearing?
Chemistry is like cooking, just don't with the spoon. Or is it? No, yeah, it is cooking. I feel like it should be baking, but...
Don't lick the spoon. I feel like everyone in this Discord licked the spoon.
It's the one that makes perfect sense for me to have, because I'm, totally a chemist.
And the spoon licker.
God's sake.
Find a public event, do a public event, I think.
Yeah, it's one in the Hellmouth.
Yep. I can't remember what the title was called for this. The seasonal one was Undying. It wasn't Harbinger, was it? That was for something
It was
else.
Harbinger.
Was it really?
Yeah. The seal was Harbinger. Yeah. What have I not done? Solo Pit. And...
Soloing Pit is easy.
Flawless
Soloing
Pit.
Pit Flawless is really hard because of the fucking hole.
Yeah, I just need to solo Pit at some point, when I can be bothered. And
Solo Flawless would be easy if not for the hole. You just run stasis and you CC everything.
The only other one I need is without is flawless. But of course, as we know, the flawless triumphs are fire team flawless now.
What's this? Completely as a fire team without leaving the activity. Oh, we could do that. But it would, yeah. Takes a little bit of time. Yeah, it's not too bad. I have meant to go back and
honestly, I find it's just very fun to just not press the right button and just look at the first page. It doesn't look so good at the moment, actually. They need to stop adding dungeons. It's ruining my first page. The bottom bit was better. Minus the crucible bit.
I reckon you could do Spire. You just need to sit down for a couple of hours and do it. Not talk to anyone. Maybe play some music of choosing.
Maybe.
What is it? It's just to do it solo.
Just solo, yeah.
Yeah, you can do it solo.
Definitely not doing Get to the Deep anytime soon.
I've been tempted to try it again, you know. I really have.
Are you okay?
No.
God, you recognize it.
I'm more inclined to go and get up some of the other dungeons I've not done solo flawless. So I've done flawless and I've done solo, but I've not done the combo wombo. Namely, Grasp. I think I'd like to do.
At some point, I need to do Shattered Throne, just for the sake of doing it.
As in solo flawless.
Yeah, or at least solo. Like I've not even done it solo yet, and I could. Like,
yeah, easily could. I can't remember.
And also, Esso's done it this season. He put a video up very recently.
I'll be amazed if it's north of 30 minutes. It's not a hard dungeon.
That's really now.
Yeah, it's that boss you can basically one slap.
So actually, you say it's not a hard dungeon. It is a hard dungeon if your brightness is wrong.
Yeah, that's true. Get flashbang.
Well, it's not even a flashbang. It's you can't see anything. Because, you know, it's all the Ascendant Plane aesthetic.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what other dungeons I've not solo flawless. I've not done solo flawless prophecy. I've done solo, done flawless. I haven't done solo flawless. Which prophecy would be a piece of piss, I think. I've done. I did do an attempt at prophecy solo flawless. I did the first boss. Just took a couple of things. Past it, and then what's after the first boss? You've got the room. I think I even did the room. I think I got as far as the boss, now I think about it. And then I just shagged it. But again, any room that's just, you know, impossible to deal with ads, just pick stasis. Live your best life.
Yeah.
Or maybe, if you're a hunter, pick this fucking thing and just watch everything get Beybladed to death. It's so fucking cool. You just drop one of these on a crowd of ads. Give me ads. I want to Beyblade some ads. Beyblade!
Have you got Mothkeeper's wraps yet?
No.
Ooh, they're good.
I have done very little. Like you say, I've done very little. It wasn't an option for the.
Basically, my Hunter Strand build at this point is Exderis, mandatory, and then Mothkeeper's wraps on, and it's just Hive Boomerite shooting everything. Occasionally that spawns 2 moths, and I just throw moths down whenever I feel like it as well. It's so fun.
What are you doing over there?
The public event. Oh, this is where it decided to respawn me. I died in the public event.
Skinny.
You know what Bungie's respawn points are like. $13,100. Goodness me. I'm running out of space to do gunner conversions.
Yeah. I think I just gotta Oh, right, there we go. So what am I going to do? I'm going to kill Fallen next. Is there a Fallen public event up? Oh, there is. This how we... I totally knew there was a gap there.
Now this, of course, given that that I'm still streaming, this is the bit where you milk our discussion today and you turn it into a flipping Datto style, let's talk about this video.
Oh, yeah. You need to make sure you do that sort of videotape, like, you know, the inserting of a cassette and pressing a button kind of sound effects as well. It's legally required when you're making.
Well,
those
that's your
videos.
responsibility. You're the editor.
Oh, fuck.
Scouts report a fallen ether
I'm not that guy.
That's the reason I said you, not me.
Good times, good vibes. That's all I'm here for.
No, you're not. You're here to edit the 150 hours or so of content.
Yeah.
Once you've got through the however many hundreds of hours of content you currently have to get through on your own stuff.
About 4 terabytes worth. That's not just Destiny though. That's...
Yeah, no, that's what I'm getting at. Just your general stuff to get through.
A lot of it's probably shit. I probably find not as much of it funny now. I bet even some of the really early stuff as well is probably less YouTube appropriate. Even if it is funny. It's Beyblade in the boss. That's so good. I love that so much. Actually, it does decent damage as well. Oh, fuck.
It's also faster than the Silence and Scarlet Moon, so actually I think it's just better at sticking to bosses. Interesting.
I could have sworn we got the "this is now heroic" thing.
We did.
But it killed itself.
Heroic event complete.
Oh. You know,
there you go.
Needed to drag it out to get the fallen kills, right?
You know what? I forgot about that.
I noticed. I just turned up and watched you fucking needles storm the fucking. I was like, I needed it to fall.
My bad. We could do a lost sector.
Yeah, well, there's one right here, isn't there? So. No fucking choice now.
I have a button that lets me just fire hatchings at things. What do you expect me to do?
You know the monkey see action fucking meme? Yeah, well, all this cool space stuff, you know, first light lunar installation. Very cool.
Yeah, it's not in my general, like, purview of what I generally look for. I mean, I'll take lore, that's fine, but...
Well, I really enjoyed going through, like, on Titan, like, when it was a patrol zone, some of the, like, the lower decks, where it was, like, you know, you could see, like, all the old stuff, you could see, like, maybe some skeletons and stuff. It was, like, really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get that. I am more cosmological. That's why the Awoken are very much my aesthetic.
Oh, it's really cool. I love some of like just the visually overwhelmingly nice things to look at. Alright, I'll stop shooting things because I'm done for my fallen guild.
Appreciated. Because I am not. Now I am.
Oh.
We may now obliterate the ball. Where's he gone?
To meet his doom. Did you open the chest?
Yeah. The real cool thing.
Yeah, I thought it still looked open or something with teammate, didn't it? But it's not.
That is not.
Most chests are like that, but all sector chests aren't, for some reason. I'm sure it makes sense to someone in Bungie.
It gets better. You get used to the pain.
It's run. Okay.
Of all the things that haunt me, hesitation is not among them. Our world collapsed in pain and agony under the weight of these pyramids. What lies within? More of the same? It doesn't matter. We must know. The unknown can act as a siren that draws us in and swallows us whole. Please, do not let yourself be consumed. Mind the spells here, Warlock. Your power is great.
Now the real question is, do I need to wear the Dreambane armor, or is it just you as fire team lead?
He hasn't asked me to wear it yet.
It's a red banner when you hover over the mission.
Fight against the darkness, if we let them be.
Like an eligibility warning thing. Requires full Dreambane armor set. But I don't know if it'll only check you.
Well, let's see, shall we?
Yeah.
Relish the hunt.
Slash, Bungie also will have almost certainly missed a funny trick of just changing your armor when you're in there.
Absolutely. Well, it's let us in.
Yeah, it does not care for what I'm wearing.
So you could be naked.
Wonderful.
Okay then, whatever makes you happy, I suppose.
I didn't expect that in the full-on flipping... I'm going to say northern accent, because I don't remember which specific area it is.
Our fate lies ahead.
Well, I kind of like this Dreambane armor, you know.
That pyramid destroyed
I don't like-
many
I don't.
lives so long ago.
Let me see if I can just swap to my actual.
Like, it's the thing on the hood. I don't know what the point of the thing on the hood is.
I kind of like it.
Remember to keep your wits about you. We do
Well,
not
at least
know
someone does.
what tricks they may play within.
Well, I appreciate you, designer at Bungie, that may or may not still.
I was going to say, maybe I'm being a little harsh. But, like...
So that was
I don't
funny.
know.
I was
Just got
going
like
to
of a
stuff
tea.
out of my vault, and then you told me what DMG said in response to Datto, and also with the layouts. I was like, oh, I kind of can't get rid of this now.
Yeah. It's such a genius response.
It is. I love that. I love that shot and that angle. And then BAM!
Yeah.
Pyramid is
Especially when this in the prologue mission where you have the music that kicks in at that moment.
Yeah. Sort of the first time you really hear the darkness thing. Well, I suppose a little bit of it plays at the end in the red wall when the light goes off. And
Yes.
Then it
But then, of course, the average Destiny player will have been like 2 years since then.
Yeah. Also, as well, it just wasn't something you was like, oh, what are the ships? New race, new species, something like that, blah, blah, blah. Didn't really. And then it was like radio silent for a long time, and then it's like, oh shit, pyramids.
Yeah.
But still, you never really learn much from this expansion about what are the, you know, the darkness really.
Yeah, you don't learn anything about the pyramids, but you get the Black Garden thing, and you get like the speaking to yourself in quotes. And then there's the relic we get from the pyramid, which gives us the unveiling Warlock, which is our first real like explanation from the Witness. It's very cool. It has been confirmed to be the Witness. I don't know why they speak differently.
I don't think back then it was really fully written what the end of this looked like.
I think that my best way I can justify it in post is it's maybe the Witness trying to emulate the Traveler in a sense, like pretending to be... trying to act as if we're listening to the relic, which is a ball, rather than listening to someone speaking through the relic. I think it's the Witness trying to do that. Being tricksy.
We've been waiting.
Still, it does speak very witnessy.
Because at least, yes, when it's speaking here, like the pyramid speaking, it is witnessy. This is witnessy. So I think it is the Witness being tricksy.
It's the Witness through.
Sorry, yeah, no, not the pyramid. Yeah, the Witness through Ghost.
I know what you mean, yeah. I mean, back then that's the thing. We didn't really know what was what. Hello, big boy.
You know what? I forgot they had the Ghost speak for the Witness in this.
It's something he's always been able to do.
Yeah, I know, it is.
The power
I completely forgot about it, and then Lightfall, of course, featured it heavily. Which is so cool. I love it. It's almost like Bungie don't forget things. Except for my Mothkeeper's raps. Yeah, the story writers don't forget things. The people who are meant to add my exotics to the exotic flipping focusing thing do.
The Red War saw so many lives lost. Saw the light taken away so easily. In light, there is only weakness.
You know, this is kind of cool. I forgot how cool this bit was.
Yeah. The last mission is by far the best part of Shadowkeep. It's so good.
No, I think...
Well, the prologue and the last mission, actually.
Forsaken after this. It's a bit... It's probably more fun now killing these bosses since it's been a long time since I fought them. As opposed to having to defeat the Fanatic for the 10 millionth time in a Nightfall.
Yeah. I feel like maybe they should have picked a different boss from Forsaken. Like, maybe one that you don't fight in a strike.
Spicy meatball. Well, it kind of makes sense for it to be the Scorn.
The Scorn and the Fanatic do make sense, is the only issue.
The is from the... is taken, so...
Yeah. So, like... But the meatball is of Savathûn, is the only issue.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, of Riven, actually, which is Savathûn's will.
trying to see if there's any hints of Nezzy. I don't think so, because I don't think that kind of stuff was thought of at this point. Or maybe
That
it
bit
was,
they may
but
not
it was...
have planned.
How many times must we teach you this lesson, old man? My sword broken.
Same. Big savage.
Finish the pooping.
No, they fixed it.
I don't know if they would have necessarily fixed it for this, to be fair.
Yeah, I know.
You could do it in here.
It would be funny if you did, because then like just and then put it next to the patch notes.
I feel like it might just soft lock the instance.
Oh no, I missed. What? Jesus Christ. There we go.
Alright. Come on, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, I want it. No. Oh, sake, I'll never get the raid exotic.
One by one, Crota slaughtered many guardians. The light stood by and did nothing.
The light went down and kicked his ass.
Ensued. In light, there is only death. Respite lies ahead.
But this really, they look very similar to Hero Always pieces. Well, kind of. It's like a prophecy-esque Hero Always piece.
Yeah, I can kind of see what you mean, actually, yeah.
Particularly the thing that gets dropped on the right, anyway. Oh. I always thought this was part of an exotic quest or something. I didn't realise this cutscene was actually in the campaign.
It's the end of campaign cutscene, yeah.
I also completely forgot what my hunter looked like without a mask.
I forgot what my warlock looked like.
We have heard your cries for help. And soon we will answer.
Who are you?
Don't you recognize us? We are not your friend. We are not your enemy. We are your salvation.
To be fair, moving a bit
The
like
movement
Jack
is very
Sparrow-y
witness.
at place. It moves a bit Jack Sparrow with the arms to the out, but when they put the A fingers together, you know,
Yes.
and we have heard your cries for help, you know, is all of soul.
Like, when they speak to us in dialogue, it's very witness. It's just the rulebook that switches to I. So, yeah. I think the rulebook switches to I. Let me double check I'm not misremembering.
I think this cutscene is where Eris is sort of communing with the statue. Here. So I think one of these statues is what was found and then taken aboard the Deepstone Crypt spaceship and used to make the Exos.
Yeah.
In some way. Because he talks about, you know, though a lot of the Beyond Light stuff talks a lot about how his obsession with this and his visions and how he needed that Vex Gate and shit like that.
Yeah.
I've never really understood what a statue is supposed to be, because obviously the witness doesn't look like the statue, and the witness is a collection of all the people that were the civilization that the traveller first resided with.
It might be the statues meant to look like the people, maybe?
Maybe that's what they look like before they all turned into Megamind.
Yeah. Also, double checking, yes, the unveiling uses I and me rather than we.
Which is really weird for something that is
Which
a
is the weird bit.
consciousness.
Yes.
I'm sure it can be rationalised as trying to do from the perspective of a traveller, but I think the reality is I don't think all this stuff was so firmly set in stone. Or maybe it was. I don't know. Maybe it is part of a grand plan I didn't see.
It could be in the context of like it talking about the grand game and stuff. And being like, maybe it's trying to personify both of them as just a person, not a collective consciousness. So it's like, rather than we, it's trying to be like, almost trying to say the traveler is a representation of something singular, and likewise for themselves.
So I've got the bug again, and this time I don't think I can get out of it. No, so I'm mashing accept here. You can actually see it's opening my text dialogue, and if I press escape...
Oh, hang on, the bit where it's opening your text dialogue, can you press the accept button?
No, watch. There's nothing.
Huh.
If I press escape...
Why does this keep happening to you?
But if I flash out, I could... What I'm gonna do... I don't
Why
know.
does this keep happening to you? I'm so confused.
It happening as well, so...
That's the only thing that like makes it not an aspect ratio thing. The only thing I can think is frame rate. That's the only justification I can think of. Because I don't get it. So weird.
Do I have to do all of this stuff?
Of salvation. There are destruction.
I've already done all that.
Manipulation from the very start.
Oh, Photos of Warlock, okay. Right, well, I don't care about the sunset weapon that this will give me, so let's get rid of that.
The artifact you recovered may be tainted. After all, they wanted us to have it.
What do you mean it'll have been reissued?
A treasure such as this is far.
Oh, unless you, if you're looking at like the quest, the reward shows it's sunset, but it's not sunset. It was reissued.
Oh, okay.
Whatever I discover.
Why do I have a quest thing about Eris? I ain't got no quest, because Eris. Speak with the Violent Tower, yes. Complete the Lunar Spelunker bounty to... Oh, it's probably that then, isn't it? I can't remember what you get for doing this. It basically takes you through doing all the lost sectors and doing the firewall data fragment, in the last lost sector.
Yes.
If we ignore them, they fester and spread.
And obviously we're going to talk to Zavala at some point, but we might as well do the stuff on the moon first, I think. Lost sector time, baby! Quite a short campaign, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Well, literally a short campaign, just done it all in about 2 hours.
What?
That's the other thing as well. Campaigns used to be much shorter than thingy.
Yeah.
Particularly with Forsaken, once you took out the Baron Hunts, it was about 3 missions, really.
Like, honestly, like, there is the valid complaint that Nightfall's campaign could have been a season minus the Strand stuff. Yes. But at the same time, a season has more quest steps than this expansion has.
Yeah.
Like, it's just seasons have got so good.
Yeah. It's easy to forget.
To be fair. Like, yeah.
Help
It just saddens me that there's no real voice of reason countering criticism.
Well, I think just with that kind of criticism, it's always going to be a bit louder than it necessarily should be.
Yeah.
So people don't really take things as measured reason. They just go, "Oh, this is horrible." Like, well, is it? Have you just forgotten where we've come from? The thing is, it's not like a lot of the criticisms are completely unfounded. It's just I think sometimes we're a bit.
There's a lot of value criticism. But also a lot of kind of bandwagoning on, oh, it's terrible, and it's not. What is terrible is setting your expectations so high that you miss them by 45%.
I'm going to assume they, because they introduced the campaign boost and things like that. I don't know how they thought people would spend money on what, but I thought it's just for the expansion itself, but I don't know.
I know that someone tried doing some stats with the event, with one of the silver bundles, I think. The current, you know the shader that's currently in the Eververse store for a silver bundle that you can't get for Bright just yet? They looked at the stats for how many people had that, and then extrapolated the cost. The amount of money that would have been generated, as in pure revenue, not necessarily profit. Which I think it is it's an overestimation, because they also forgot to account for the 30% that Steam will take, etc. But still, yes, technically that's still revenue overall. And it worked out at something like a couple of million from just the shader.
That seems a bit high. I find that a little hard to believe.
Well, based on the numbers and then the cost of silver, I think the maths did work out.
Maybe, okay.
The only issue that they may run into, though, with it is whether Bungie counts all of that silver for this year. Because obviously you might buy silver in the previous year, and then that'll go on Bungie's books for, let's say, last year. And then you spend that silver this year, and it looks like you've earned 2 million this year, but maybe you've only earned 1.
Revenue is a very harsh metric after, a scuff launch like Lightfall.
Because there is also then...
player count would obviously matter a lot as well.
Yeah. And on top of that, it is an overestimation, because if all of those players were on Steam, then subtract 30%.
Yeah.
And that's what Bungie's actually getting. Then minus their operational costs.
Yeah.
And it is weird, because it feels like they've significantly overestimated beyond what they should have. And I don't know how.
Which is weird, because again, I think it's quite well monetized. And also, is a target really something you should be asking people over? Because unless that's an issue, unless you're actually struggling for cash flow, which you shouldn't be, courtesy of a certain acquisition, then you're just getting rid of people because they didn't meet some arbitrary target you set.
Yeah.
For no good reason. It almost seems like a reason to get rid of people. Which again,
it's either...
I think might be... The real reason might be some post-Final Shape wind down they're anticipating.
Yeah. It's either that, or maybe it's, I don't know, they're trying to preempt Sony telling them to cut people.
Yeah, possibly. Either way, dick move.
Yeah. Most definitely. Where have you gone? Are you in Communion?
Yarp. I won't loot chest, but I've not got there yet.
You know that whole report to Zavala bit?
Mm-hmm.
I remember getting the Hunter exotic from Eris, and I noticed that step is step 18 of 19. I feel like it's going to be go to the tower, speak to Zavala, go to the moon, speak to Eris. What a way to end a campaign.
It wouldn't surprise me. That's something that I remember a lot about Forsaken as well. There's a lot of planet hopping. A lot of, go inform this person. It's like, bitch, they could have been on the radio. I gotta load into a destination.
Oh, you know, Zavala could have just walked over here. I Gora did it.
Destiny's strongest loss at the boss. It's a lost search in the Hellmouth next, isn't it? Yeah.
I'll admit, if you do like that kind of aesthetic, Starfield does have a lot of that.
A lot of space stuff, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I really enjoyed No Man's Sky. I did a thing just for I got carried away playing other stuff. There's like these lost freighters you can find in space. You know, explore them. They have like little ads in them for you to kill, but yeah, that's really fun. Like, I love that kind of crap. I love this, you know, all this whole broken human shit, you know, and sort of explore. It's like modern archaeology almost. It's like you're exploring the present, but in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, I just love my space.
I mean, haven't you just described Destiny?
Yes, pretty much. Yes. I've seen in Timefall 2 as well, you got this like, it's like a little bit of time travel kind of thing, and you get to go back and forth between where you are in the present in like this complex, this military complex, versus in the future where it's all fucking like 20 years in the future, where it's all fucked up and shit like that. It's really cool. I don't think it's that far in the future, but it's far enough.
It's always funny how like the Golden Age and the arrival of the Traveler is considered ancient history, and it's like lore-wise that happens about now.
Yeah,
it's always about now.
This is like 300, 400 years in the future from that, or
yes.
further. I can't. Well, from the arrival, I think it's even further, isn't it? Because I don't know how long the Golden Age lasted.
The Golden Age lasted a while, yeah.
That's my least favourite lost sector on the moon, this one. The boss is fine, it's just this bit. Like, it's cool to explore, horrible to fight, and ads hiding everywhere.
Yes.
Particularly the Fallen, they like to scurry. And if you haven't got a radar if you're doing this on Master, it's a pain in the ass trying to find the fuckers.
But at least they don't become invisible when they scurry. Not invisible, immune. Like the Scorn.
Scorn, yeah.
It's like, I can see you, I just can't shoot you because you happen to be in your immune state. You wielding that strand whip.
Yeah, whippy.
I can't hurt you yet.
You what?
Said I'll make a hunter out of you yet.
No, they're fun to play, but they ain't the master race.
You said they're fun to play. That sounds like someone who's given in to me.
Nope. Well, Titan can be fun to play.
No, they can't.
Not as fun as Hunter, but they can definitely be fun to play.
Disagree. I cannot stand Titan.
Now build them right, mate. You've got to run hammers and just running around, just throwing your little melee hammer, just bonking everything on the head.
How do you die?
Gravity.
You're a hunter!
Ran out of hops.
Oh,
I wasn't
just...
really looking where I was going, to be fair.
Okay, fair.
Okay.
How do you know he's poor? Could be rich.
Well, he's dead. I don't know how much savings you have when you're dead, but it's normally zero.
No, his estate could be worth a lot. Maybe he owns this entire lost sector.
I own it now. That little thing, I mean, look how cool this room is. Even if all this does is give you a thing that you don't want to complete. I think this is to get you Ariana's vow, if I remember correctly now.
I seem to remember having Ariana's vow at the start of the campaign. It just was because it was the seasonal weapon.
Yeah, I don't remember what this gives you.
I think just each thing gave you random guffins, and then at the end, was it Deathbringer?
No, maybe. Yeah, for clearing all of it, because this clears Eris's nightmares.
Yeah, I think that gets you Deathbringer.
Can I be asked to do that?
Because that also fits with the normal approach of you have the campaign and then the exotic mission afterwards.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of like running around to certain places to collecting things. I would have thought I actually might already have the things though, because I've already done it. It might. Beating nightmares on the moon with arc abilities. Right, so I'm going to take us to the tower. I'm going to talk to Zavala because we do have to come back here then. You won't believe I'm actually. That's 2 campaigns I've done, Birmingham. On my hunter. You're proud of me? I'm huntering. Yeah. The most I've hunted in a long time.
I'll make a hunter out of you yet.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I will.
When Chubbs becomes our Warlock main.
Hey, that was more likely in the past than me playing Warlock. And now look! 36 out of 41 Warlock exotics.
I thought I said Chubbs because he'll never be a Warlock main. He's like, oh, I don't have a concept of mange.
And then you can tell which one I don't play.
Yeah, what am I on? Warlock is 40 out of 41. Oh, cannot connect to Destiny 2 servers. Warning the person is completely out of space. I can't click launch.
Spam it.
I'm spamming it.
Oh. Maybe leave the menu and then reopen it and then spam it again.
I did that. But it would seem just clicking long enough to finally get it working. Right, what was I looking at? Collection, exotic, armor. Warlock, 40 out of 41. Hunter is 28 out of 41. Titan's 27 out of 41. That's all going to be year 1 stuff. That's all year 1 stuff. When I first started playing the game, I played Titan. Oh, fuck, is that a helmet? Is that a frozen dude's head?
Which helmet?
Admius Ridge Lance Cap.
I'm assuming. Okay, that one.
It's a Titan helmet.
That does look a lot like a frozen guy's head.
Who wears of stasis dude's face? Some of these are brutal. I mean, all you hunters are fucked when that whip hatches next season. All you young Armcara spine wearers. You have to watch out. It's going to whisk you out.
No one wears that. Have you read the lore for... Where? An insurmountable school for?
No, I haven't.
It's literally the summary of Titans.
It's a fortress for your skull. Your skull is now a mighty bastion. You can break anything with your skull. The only limit is your spine. Relax. The lights will speak for you. Your hands are your eyes now. Look around. You find hard anti-combat relaxing. The lights will attract the enemy. Help them to relax as well. This feels like Borat wrote this. You'll feel the effect of a caregiver a health enforcer. Your enemies do not have a skull fortress, so the skulls are like meadows. Play in them. Gather the flowers from the meadows. Gather them with electrokinetic traumas. Smell the flowers. Isn't that nice? You are safe in your skull fort. What a fucking... Oh, yeah, that's time. Oh, no, you talk to Zavala, and then you talk to Ikora.
Oh, interesting.
No, actually, I need to talk to Caddy first.
When do we talk to Eris for the...
We never see her
exotic
again.
madness?
Who's Eris? Never heard of her.
Oryx. Go.
I love the absolute audacity game of you to give me an enhancement prism. Not only is it an enhancement prism, which I don't need more of, but it's one.
Like nothing we've faced before. I've often wondered about the collapse. about how it might have been different had Guardians been there. But I don't have to wait for them to come back to have my answer. It's already standing right in front of me. They claim to be our salvation. No. We will be theirs.
Yeah, no, it's funny when you just get Ant and Ant from prison.
A prepared soldier is a victorious. Back to the front, guard.
You still look a little depressed staring at it. You okay?
Who?
Yeah, you're staring at the enhancement prison.
Yeah, I was waiting for Zavala to finish.
Checking right now.
Damn, I didn't realise you two were that close.
Finish talking, you knobhead.
Bye.
Because they actually decided to just not give really any summary for his speech there.
Let's see what we've got for each other.
Bit odd.
You might think you're a build.
Okay.
No, it's not. Be there.
Okay.
I feel like you're not really listening to me.
Space roll. 61. God. Jesus Christ.
Controversies are probably your best exotic. There's a few good exotics. Nezi's Sin is good as well, but Conjures are... Because the funny thing about the Void subclass, your biggest damage dealer isn't your Nova Bomb. It's that fucking Void Vortex Grenade. Oh, there we go. Got my exotic. Got it off Ikora. It's not Deathbringers.
No, Deathbringer is the exotic mission reward, because it's a gun. The one you get from, I guess, Ikora then. That's your exotic armor.
Mm-hmm.
Checking right
Which I don't know what that is for what. For Hunter, it's the Assassin's Cowl.
Yes, it is.
Checking. Done. Transfer.
Right, I'm gonna dismantle that.
Acknowledged.
1809.
Bye. Hi again.
Oh shit, is there anything I've not bought off Ikora on my hand then? Oh, no, all ticks on the Void, we like that. All ticks on the Solar, we like that. There we go, we got it all lovely.
Holy shit, they went all in on the Highlander shader.
Is that the Riven one or is that the store one?
Prime Gaming.
Oh yeah. I'm Scottish.
The bloody islands nowhere.
Those things are salvation.
Stone Dancers.
They drudge up our traumas and for
Is that good?
Okay, they're for tickle fingers.
to distract us,
I see.
destroy us. We've spent too much time looking
I mean, they're all
backwards at
shit.
tragedies beyond our control.
Oh yeah,
Towards
it'd
the
be shit, you
collapse,
dismantle it straight
the
away.
Red War.
Man was 48 on my Assassin's Cowl.
Also 48.
Enough.
Very premium
They
rolls right
raised
there.
despair out of ego. But they
Plus 12
underestimated
mobility,
the
plus 12
strength of
intellect.
Guardians.
That's a hunter roll, and it's a shit one at that.
Yeah, welcome to the life of a Warlock. Forever getting mobility rolls in your armor.
Come back safe.
How much is that?
Do you think I should try to live outside the city? I've been thinking about it.
I'm down to 4 more exotic needed.
Sorry, citizens, over here.
What are you missing?
Uh,
Oh yeah, okay. I think all that stuff you'll have to get from Strike
it'll
Force.
be from Vex Strike Force, yeah. Nothing Manacles, Briarvines, Boots of the Assembler, and Rain of Fire.
Well, unless we're doing this Memory of Simorta, that's it for Shadowkeep.
Indeed.
Which is, I think, all campaigns done on my Hunter. Minus any stasis aspects I have to go and get. Have I finished? Yeah, okay, I've got no aspects, but I have got the stasis subclass.
I mean, you should just be able to buy it from Elsie.
Maybe. I have a quest, though, to go and do something somewhere, but okay, let's take us to Elsie and Propaganda.
There might be an initial quest, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, there might be.
I know that the Umbral stuff's replaced with just buying it.
Well, what's this quest say? Well, this quest I've had since Beyond Light, so... Blood in Darkness Part 1. Defeat Wenix's Platonia Crooks of Darkness, and then that gives me the aspect of control, apparently. Wait, do you mean the Volatile Throne bundle, by the way? For the Thought Shader bundle?
Yes.
Okay.
Specifically, they tracked who had a Luminous Void.
Oh, I think I can just buy them all, lol. Let's have a look. Winter Shroud, Shatter Dive, Grim Harvest, Touchy Winter. So what the fuck's this aspect of control malarkey then? So, is the Hunter aspect called Aspect of Control?
That is a good question.
Or have I just bought it off LC and it's just, they say Aspect of Control in the thingy, but it's like actually called something else off LC?
I can switch my Hunter and check if you want.
You can stand your Warlock if you want, I'll just Google it. Aspect of Control. Okay, that's apparently from something. Oh, it's from Diablo 4. That's what Destiny doing.
Diablo 4 is increasingly becoming the bane of my existence just from how much it's overlapping with Destiny terminology, and it's pissing me off. I would like them to cease.
I think I've got it. I don't think I need this thing anymore. I can just delete the thingy. Hang on. Destiny 2. Hunter. Stasis. Aspects. Hunter Stasis Aspects. I believe I have them all. Winter Shroud. Shatter Dive, Grim Harvest, Touch of Winter. Yeah, I've got them all. Yeah, I can just delete this fucking thing. Sweet. That saved me a bunch of nodding about I don't want to do. So, what else do you need to do in your Warlock? Or is it time for me to switch up to my Titan?
I mean, I'll probably go on like about that.
That's right.
Yeah, Beyond Light would be Witch Queen. I would do Beyond Light, but I'm doing that with Spyro and Jeff.
Well, so without me, I see. I don't get your love, do I?
I've just done Shadowkeep with you, have I not?
No.
And I'm doing Witch Queen with you.
No.
But with that, in any case, I'm going to call it there. Thank you everyone for watching. Very much appreciated. I'll be back whenever, I guess. Doubt there's going to be a raid this weekend. Yeah, until then, have a good one.